$1.4 billion nationwide settlement with Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family. The settlement is in regards to the opioid crisis throughout the nation. The settlement will end the Sackler control of Purdue and bar them from selling opioids within the U.S. The settlement money will fund addiction recovery and prevention programs over the next 15 years. Marshall called the deal a major step toward justice, urging local governments to sign on quickly as the plan heads to bankruptcy court for approval. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Ryan Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
The plan to return the name of Fort Novosel back to its original name of Fort Rucker is already in the works. This comes after President Trump mentioned his plan in a speech at Fort Bragg last week. Trump mentioned a total of 7 Army bases that had their names changed during the Biden administration that will undergo a reverting of those names. Returning to the name Fort Rucker will not be in honor of a Confederate soldier, but this time around, a Missouri aviator, Captain Edward Rucker, who earned the Distinguished Service Cross in France during World War I. Rock the South is going to be celebrating its 13th year running in Coleman County. The dates coming up for the music festival are June 19th through the 21st. Expect heavy traffic delays along Interstate 65 in that county. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
What the hell are we doing here?
We are behaving the way a superpower ought to behave.
Well, our behavior has produced some crappy results.
Joey Clark.
That's putting it mildly. Our behavior has produced some crappy results. Acting like a superpower. Welcome into the program. Things breaking in just the last half hour. Trump goes on a tear on Truth Social. One post in all caps just says, unconditional surrender. Says, we know where the supreme leader is hiding. We're not going to take him out yet. And just so it was clear, he put in parentheses, kill. Says, we have complete and total control over skies of Iran. You also have J.D. Vance defending the president at length on X. Mike Huckabee in a text sent to Trump comparing Trump to Truman in 1945. Tulsi Gabbard actually giving a quote to CNN saying, well, me and the president are on the same page about the enriched uranium. What a mess. And what a turn of events. Joining us to talk about this and much more, we have the one, the only Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, how are you on this day?
All things considered, I'm well, Joey. How are you?
Yeah, all things considered, quite well. Got to see my father last night, cook him a big steak dinner, so life is good here.
Good.
And as a spectator, and I don't know if you read my op-ed I sent you, but it's how I feel right now. Like, I'm not in control of these events. I'm more just watching this play out.
I did read it, and I enjoyed it. I read everything you sent me. Tulsi Gabbard should resign. If the president says he publicly doesn't care what she says under oath, she has no business serving him. The statement she made under oath was to the effect of MI6, Mossad, and the CIA all came to the same conclusion, which is that Iran does not have and is not developing nuclear weapons, and he says he doesn't care. She should get another job in order to maintain her integrity. Apparently, she likes the job more than she likes her integrity.
Yeah, she then gave a follow-up interview to CNN. That's what I was referring to, saying that folks here, let me pull it up real quick. President Trump, this is a quote, was saying the same thing that I said in my annual threat assessment back in March in Congress. Unfortunately, too many people in the media don't care to read what I said. I continues to assess Iran as not building a nuclear weapon. and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized nukes program since he suspended it in 2003, but she goes on to talk about the enriched uranium over 60%. I'm wondering what changed. Was this just a long con, or this is a question right now on the right in the anti-war circles, was Trump playing the long con alongside the Israelis, or did the Israelis get the better of them, like doing these strikes right before the negotiations were supposed to happen this past weekend?
It's inconceivable that Trump did not know of these plans, because they took 18 months to come off, when he made his statements in Saudi Arabia condemning neocons and military adventurism. That was the most profound presidential lie of the modern era, in an effort to lull the Iranians into a false sense of security. Well, nothing's going to happen as long as we continue to negotiate. It's inconceivable he didn't know what was happening. He's made himself a laughingstock of the diplomatic world, and no country will ever believe the United States, least of all this president, again, including President Xi of China and President Putin of Russia.
Now, how much, because when the run-up to Iraq War II happens, I'm a very young teenager, just hitting adolescence. How much of this reminds you of the, say, hubris of that time, the hubris of our time, especially like, this will be swift, this will be easy, this will be a picnic. We'll get a popular uprising. The regime is about to fall. Have we not heard these things before?
Yes, this is history repeating itself. And if anything was a disaster, it was Bush's invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq, which killed 2 million people and wasted $3 trillion. Zero return, no national security threat to the United States whatsoever. Just like the 3 wars Trump is fighting against Russia, against Gaza, and against Iran. None of those countries poses a national security threat to the United States. The Congress couldn't declare war against them if it wanted to, without violating treaties that limit its war declarations to those against countries that offer serious, grave, imminent threats. None of those is the case. But CNN is reporting the president is contemplating dropping a 30,000-pound bomb on Tehran. That would be an act of mass murder.
And I'm seeing also Thomas Massie has just introduced a war powers resolution trying to get members of Congress on board with this. But I mean, at this point, I guess here's a broader question.
What does Massie's resolution seek? To deny him the authority to wage war, or to allow him to wage war?
Yeah, let me read directly here. Resolved by the House of Representatives, Congress makes the following findings. Congress has the sole power to declare war under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11 of the Constitution. Congress has not declared war with respect to or provided specific statutory authorization for hostilities involving the United States Armed Forces against the Islamic Republic of Iran. So that very clear is trying to stop it.
Good for him. Good for him. He's one of the 2 people in the Congress. The other is also from Kentucky, Senator Rand Paul, who understand the Constitution. The rest think that the Congress is a general legislature, can right any wrong, regulate any behavior, tax any event, fight any war, kill any person, as long as they have political support for it.
Well, and I'm wondering how much support this will even get in the House.
Are you kidding? The Republicans are terrified of this. They won't even allow it to come for a vote. They would have to commit themselves on accepting a plain reading of the Constitution. That's beyond their scope. That's beyond their ability. In the cases of some of them, it's beyond their intellects.
Now, it brings back conversations we've had before, but I'm almost, I think the elected people have responsibilities, and you still want to believe a president, for better or for worse, is held responsible for his actions. But it almost seems like this government, and say the globalist government, is not run by we the people, and is not constrained by the Constitution. And some say it hasn't been that way since 1963. Others might push the date back further, but it does seem like we have a government that is not accountable to the people and wears the Constitution like a skin suit. Today, and
Well,
the last events.
You and I have been through this many times. We don't have two political parties. We have one uniparty that agrees on war, agrees on taxing the daylights out of us, agrees on borrowing, spending, and printing money, and different ways of spending the money. Republicans want their version of big government. Democrats want their version. When it comes to war, with the exception of libertarians like Congressman Massey and progressives like Senator Sanders and his colleagues, they're all in favor of everything. They don't care about the Constitution. Now, having said that, there is a substantial part of the government which never changes and which doesn't care what Donald Trump wants to do. And some of them carry guns. They're in the FBI and they're in the CIA. I don't know if Trump knew that the CIA planned and plotted the drone attacks on 4 Russian military bases, a bridge, and a train 2 or 3 weeks ago. If he didn't know it, he should fire the head of the CIA. If he did know it, yet again, he's lied about it because he's told us he didn't know it and we had nothing to do with it. We know that the CIA with MI6 planned and plotted it. We don't know how far up the food chain it went. But at whatever point in the food chain it stopped, that person should be summarily dismissed.
Well, and I had somebody who's a regular on the show. He's a little more hawkish for our liking, but I try to get all sorts of perspectives. And he, after the attack in Russia, he said this has all the hallmarks of Mossad's crap.
I agree, but my sources are telling me MI6 had the lead. Probably Mossad, which works hand in glove with MI6 and CIA, provided some help. The concept, however, of sneaking parts of drones in wooden crates into Russia and assembling them in Russia is very Mossad-like. It's very, very similar to when they exploded pagers in Lebanon and killed 2,000 innocent people.
Well, and I'm wondering where this goes next from the folks you talk to, of course, every day on Judging Freedom and your sources. I know you don't have a crystal ball necessarily, but what's your sense of what is going to happen next year?
Depends if Donald Trump wants to go down as a man of peace or as our friend Tom Woods always says, no matter who you vote for, you get John McCain, as a John McCain type person who killed innocents. Telling the people of Tehran to leave and then killing them when they don't does not absolve you of the moral and legal culpability for the murder of innocents.
Well, I hate to leave it there, but this is what's in the news. Is there anything popular in the news? Anything happy in the news? I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of. Yesterday, I interviewed Professor Mohammad Marandi, who was born in the United States and who's an Iranian professor of English. I interviewed him from the basement of the Iranian television and radio facility an hour after it had been attacked by the Israelis. 350,000 people watched the interview.
Wow. Yeah, and we played the clip, of course, of the building being hit during a live broadcast. It's one thing to watch the fireworks, so to speak, with the missile interceptors and the ballistics flying, but to have that like on the ground footage, and then of course the aftermath is always carnage.
When did a radio and television facility become a legitimate military target? What does that have to do with uranium enrichment?
I think this is a clear sign that it's a regime change operation. This is there. Let's take out the head of the Revolutionary Guard. Let's not touch the other parts of the traditional military. Hit the IRGC, hit the propaganda wing so they can't communicate, and put the Ayatollah in a corner and make them cry uncle. Like it's essentially it's war along with negotiating tactics. And I mean, that's an awful way to negotiate.
Thomas Massey said Congress has not declared war.
Right.
Trump actually made an interesting comment when he blasted Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know if most people caught this. The reporter said to him, "You're going to give notification to the Gang of 8. That means, are you going to tell the Congress within the Congress that you're about to use military force, and he said not necessary. The only way it could be not necessary is if the military force was effectuated by CIA, because he is not required to report that. He's only required to report military. Now, I don't know if he's smart enough to know the difference, or if not necessary was just another one of his ways to change the subject. But if you give him a lot of credit, then he's dropping a hint that this will be done with the CIA. When Barack Obama invaded Libya, he didn't give war powers notice, so the Congress ordered the Gang of Eight because he didn't use the military, he used the CIA.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping from what you just said about that one interview with 300,000 something people watching it. I'm sure millions have watched Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon, and you can go down the line of all sorts of different commentators and now have a microphone calling this out. Hopefully we have some change, because as the strikes broke last week, I hadn't watched in ages Fox News, and about 10 minutes into it, I'm like, is this American media? I guess it is. And my grandfather is 88. He's a retired Air Force lieutenant colonel, served in Vietnam. He said, turn this crap off. And I can't agree with the old man more. And it's astounding, this moment we're in, and especially with all the hope, all the great speech in Saudi Arabia. It's frustrating to see.
Well, the speech in Saudi Arabia was something someone read for him. He obviously hadn't even rehearsed it. He mispronounced the names of foreign cities. He either didn't know what he was saying or was lying or has changed his mind. But his dreams of winning a Nobel Peace Prize were gone.
Well, I appreciate your time as always, Judge, and hopefully we'll have happier things to talk about in the coming weeks and months.
You got it, Joey. All the best to you, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Again, folks, that is Judge Andrew Napolitano. Always appreciate his time. And also my good friend Eddie Bader here in the studio. How you doing today?
Pretty good. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. I don't know. I don't think you've what I laid down at the beginning of the show yesterday. I do feel like a spectator.
Yeah.
Like, we'll watch, wait, and see what occurs. I think there is some method to the madness, that maybe they think we can have a regime change without even having to set any boots on the ground other than maybe special forces. But we've heard these promises before.
Yep.
Yeah, and here's the idea. You destroy the Revolutionary Guard, as I was just laying out to the judge. You destroy their propaganda arms. You destroy anybody who's essentially crucial to the regime as it currently exists. And you leave intact some of the civilian leaders and some of the traditional military, who doesn't run things in the same way the Revolutionary Guard runs everything in that country. And then you tell those folks that you kill everybody else and destroy the people that really have the hold on the country. And you look at all the folks you kept alive and you go, you want to make peace or not now? I think that's exactly what Trump is doing. But does it work is the question. And the longer this thing drags out, China is making a lot of noises about it because, I mean, they're very reliant on that oil coming from Iran.
By them, yeah.
Russia, Bloomberg just reported saying, Russia's pulled back support for Iran. So that's a good sign that Russia's like, hey, we said we were buddies, but sorry, y'all are pretty in a tough spot. So again, I'm in the position of let's wait and see and pray for peace. Now, if you're in the midst of the fighting, pray for victory.
Of course.
If you have loved ones, wherever bombs are dropping, pray for their safety. But man, this is quite a turn of events. And, you know, you were more paying attention, or were you? Like, say in the run-up to Iraq, were you paying attention much at all? How did you feel in those days?
I was a little nervous, just a little bit nervous because I knew a little bit more than I guess the average person did. So I was a little nervous, but 15 minutes in, it's fine. Wasn't as big a deal as I thought it would be. I hate that we didn't finish the job. We had to go back a second time.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm more talking about the second time. So you were paying attention in the early 90s.
Yeah. Having to go back was, I hate saying it, but looking at it now from older guy point of view, somebody wanted some money. Start that war back up, get that money flowing again. And it's bothersome to me, just like we see in Israel, in Palestine. it's not everybody wants peace. And as long as you got the majority of folks that don't want peace, this is what's going to happen. And, you know, people are going to take the bait every time.
Well, and the weapons of mass destruction thing
that pissed me off.
Because, I mean, you had Cheney, I think it was at a VFW meeting where he gave a speech to them, essentially alluded to nukes.
Oh, if you remember them going to Congress and all, and Powell,
right.
You know, that was a big moment for me as, again, someone that always loved Powell, thought he was the greatest thing since gravy. But then when definitely his information was bad, whether it was on purpose or not, I lost all respect for that man. And
then you see, you know, folks still for a long time are like, no, we did find weapons of mass destruction. We found all this, like, you know, mustard gas. Okay. And I'm like, yeah, well, a lot of that stuff was just stuff you secured that was initially found in the early 90s.
But I think
like the whole idea that they reconstituted a weapons program approaching, say, something like a nuke was nonsense.
No, I think they were looking for justification for having to go back a second time. But also, anything they did have, Saddam wasn't an idiot. If he really thought that if he did have anything, they just moved it. I don't care what anybody says. They just moved it out. Syria got it. Somebody else got it.
But again, I think the analogy might be better to point towards Libya. That we don't have, and maybe there are special forces on the ground, but it's not like American armies on the ground. It's not like the Israeli, other than Mossad, have their military all throughout the country. It's not like they're invading and trying to occupy it. What they're doing, and this is what the United States did in Libya, and it just took a little bit of a push, is you take air supremacy.
Yep.
And then, yes, you take out comms networks. There are now reports that banks have been shut down. People can't get money.
Nope.
You kill the most radical leaders. You make an example of, and then the next guy they promote, you kill him. Yep. That just came out today.
And that'll keep happening.
So you control the skies. You have assassins and saboteurs on the ground, destroying a lot of equipment. It is kind of amazing. The air defense systems are supposed to be top notch. In a way, it was a long question, especially I think they were using Russian technology. How good would, say, a Russian missile defense system be against an F-35? The thing is, the Israelis had people on the ground.
Yeah.
So you can, and that was the choke point, is where the trucks would be rolled out to fire off those missiles before the missiles even stood up erect. They were destroying the launch vehicles. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I just got a sense that this is not as easy as anybody hoped. And
no, because you have standard tactics, and then you've got what Mossad does, and it shocks people all the time. They're one not to be fooled with.
Well, and it's just a general, like reading the history of wars. It's a general thing. What's the simple phrase I've heard is the enemy always gets a vote. So think about World War II. Just remember, commemorated D-Day.
Mm-hmm.
D-Day, despite the loss of life, was a massive success.
Yeah.
But even though that initial campaign is a massive success, then they get to this thing called the hedgerows.
Mm-hmm.
And I think 88,000 people died getting through those. Yeah. So you have this incredibly well-planned, well-executed for the most part, amphibious landing, the largest in human history, I believe. And you would think, okay, because we were able to pull off that. What could go wrong next? Oh, well, a lot went wrong next.
Yeah.
And you can still be victorious. In the same way I recounted in the South we call it the First Battle of Manassas, or Skycrack said it's also got another name called the Great Skedaddling or something like that. Or as the Northerners call it, the Battle of Bull Run, or the Picnic Battle.
Yeah.
And in the end, the Union prevails. But after how many hundreds of thousands dead?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing. You might think, oh, this is a quick operation. I mean, I'm trying to think of the ones that really worked, like Grenada.
Yeah, there were a couple that they published that worked. But honestly, if you let the military be military, you're fine. It's when you have the politicians try to be soldiers, and they're not.
So we'll see. We shall see. 2729228. Hey, something that does always make me happy is seeing the latest inventory spotlight over there at Dillon Rings.
I saw the cabinet earlier on Facebook, Leslie's inventory.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this clover-shaped ring?
That's the one I saw.
All diamond. The 3 leaves of a traditional clover are said to represent the Holy Trinity. while the rare 4-leaf signifies God's grace. This piece, I'm looking at it is a clover, but it is like all diamond encrusted on top.
Beautiful.
Regularly $1,999. Now with the birthday celebration, because Leslie's got her 50th coming up,
right.
so 50% off on half the store, you can get it for just shy of $1,000. Now that's a steal right there. That's only till June the 28th, and that's just a sample. Whether you want this clover ring or they have that great sapphire and diamond ring the other day posted. Yep. These are just samples of all the amazing things they have going on with this half off sale. And of course, they're a full service jewelry shop. So when you stop by to look at this incredible discounted inventory, why not also bring a watch that's broke?
Right.
Or some old jewelry you got laying around, sell it to them. Or a jewelry you want to praise. Or it could be you want a spa treatment or repairs. They do it all. We'll tell you more about that coming up. But y'all get by there. Get by, see this incredible half-off inventory. Tell Leslie a happy birthday early. 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery. That's 119 Brown Springs Road, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Your nightly news begins with Fox 20 News at 9.
We start Fox 20 News at 9 with breaking news.
Putting Montgomery news first. Covering your news from all sides. Fox 20 News at 9 is Montgomery's original 9 p.m. news. Live reports from your community. Don't wait till 10. See what's making news tonight and what you can expect tomorrow. If it's happening in the capital city, it's happening on Fox 20 News at 9. Coverage you can count on.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up!
Oscar!
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our better than normal rain chances certainly continue today, with showers and thunderstorms becoming numerous, but again, mostly by late afternoon and into the early evening hours. That's when your best chance of running into a storm will be. The storms will be random with a high in the lower 90s, heat index 100 or higher, lows at night in the low 70s. Then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, there'll still be storms around each day. But I think the number of storms will start to thin out a bit. And temperatures by late week will be in the low to mid 90s with triple-digit heat indices in the danger range. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Clark.
Welcome back. Again, if you missed the very beginning of the show, Trump putting out a lot of messages publicly, starting with a claim, and I think it's probably true in this case, we now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment, and plenty of it. But it doesn't compare to the American-made, conceived, and manufactured, quote-unquote, stuff. He put stuff in quotes. Nobody does it better than the good old USA, says Donald Trump. He then followed that up with this. We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but it is safe there. We are not going to take him out. Kill. The exclamation point in parentheses. At least not for now. But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And Trump wasn't done. He then followed up with a message that had just two words. Unconditional surrender. Unconditional surrender. Now that brings us to other figures within the administration. Again, Eddie Bader here in the studio with me. J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Always thoughtful.
What did he allow?
Well, here's what J.D. Vance put out there. Reading directly from his X account. Look, I'm seeing this from the inside and am admittedly biased towards our president and my friend. But there's a lot of crazy stuff on social media, so I wanted to address some things directly on the Iran issue. First, POTUS has been amazingly consistent over 10 years that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Over the last few months, he encouraged his foreign policy team to reach a deal with the Iranians to accomplish his goal. The president has made clear that Iran cannot have uranium enrichment, and he said repeatedly that this would happen one of two ways, the easy way or the quote-unquote other way. Second, goes on Vice President Vance, I've seen a lot of confusion over the issue of civilian nuclear power and uranium enrichment. These are distinct issues. Iran could have civilian nuclear power without enrichment, but Iran rejected that. Meanwhile, They've enriched uranium for far above the level necessary for any civilian purpose. They've been found in violation of their non-proliferation obligations by the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is hardly a right-wing organization. It's one thing to want civilian nuclear energy, says the vice president. It's another thing to demand sophisticated enrichment capacity. And it's still another to cling to enrichment while simultaneously violating basic non-proliferation obligations and enriching right to the point of weapons-grade uranium. I've yet to see a single good argument for why Iran needed to enrich uranium well above the threshold for civilian use. I've yet to see a single good argument for why Iran was justified in violating its non-proliferation obligations. I've yet to see a single good pushback, says the vice president, against the IAEA's findings. Meanwhile, the president has shown remarkable restraint in keeping our military focus on protecting our troops and protecting our citizens. He may decide he needs to take further action to end Iranian enrichment. That decision ultimately belongs to the president. And of course, writes Vice President J.D. Vance, people are right to be worried about foreign entanglement after the last 25 years of idiotic foreign policy. Oh, that's a heck of a lot. You're saying heck of a lot in that one sentence, J.D. But I believe the president has earned some trust on this issue, he goes on. And having seen this up close and personal, I can assure you that he is only interested in using the American military to accomplish the American people's goals. Whatever he does, that is his focus. Hey, you want some good news?
Please.
Madeline Cannon is going to be joining us a little after 1 o'clock.
That's awesome news.
Yeah,
I could really see a smiling face with her would be really nice right now.
No, and not to get into what you're dealing with on your side of the desk over there. I get you're dealing with some stuff. Is this kind of bringing you down this news cycle?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I noticed
not where I thought we'd be going, to be quite honest.
I know.
Mainly because I got bigger problems. Like I'm working on the world's economy right now. I don't have time for war.
Right.
That's not good for my business.
So Doge gets leashed, and now we're looking at like war with Iran.
I hate saying this. It's just a hot take because I'm in a bad spot right now. But it's like we swapped out one old man for another.
Now, getting it from Netanyahu, this is excerpts. I'm not going to play the clips. I'll just read here. Netanyahu tells ABC News he's not ruling out taking out Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei.
That wouldn't be a good idea right now.
Benjamin Netanyahu told ABC News on Monday that targeting Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, would end, not escalate, the ongoing fight between Israel and Iran that erupted late last week. When asked by ABC News chief Washington correspondent, God, they love their titles, Jonathan Karl, about reports from ABC News and other outlets that President Trump rejected an Israeli plan to assassinate the supreme leader, concerned that it would escalate the conflict, Netanyahu said, quote, "It's not going to escalate the conflict. It's going to end the conflict."
I kind of disagree on that.
He went on saying, "We've had half a century of conflict spread by this regime that terrorizes everyone in the Middle East, has bombed the Aramco oil fields in Saudi Arabia, is spreading terrorism, subversion, and sabotage everywhere." Netanyahu continued saying, "The forever war is what Iran wants, and they're bringing us to the brink of nuclear war. In fact, what Israel is doing is preventing this, bringing an end to this aggression, and we can only do so by standing up to the forces of evil." Asked if Israel would target the supreme leader, Netanyahu said that Israel is doing what we need to do. "I'm not going to get into details, but we've targeted their top nuclear scientists. It's basically Hitler's nuclear team." Netanyahu said it is in America's interest to support Israel as it seeks to eliminate Iran's nuclear program. This is the quote that got a lot of people a little like, hey. Quote, quoting Bibi Netanyahu, "Today it's Tel Aviv. Tomorrow it's New York.
Right.
Look, I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. That's what these people want. They chant death to America. So we're doing something that is in the service of mankind, of humanity, and it's a battle of good against evil. America does, should, and does stand with the good. That's what President Trump is doing, and I deeply appreciate his support." This is what Netanyahu told ABC News.
Kind of feel like Netanyahu has put Trump in a spot.
The prime minister also dismissed a Wall Street Journal report that Iran had been urgently signaling that it wants to end hostilities and resume negotiations over its nuclear program, saying, quote, "I'm not surprised. I mean, they want to continue to have these fake talks in which they lie, they cheat, they string the U.S. along. And, we have very solid intel on that. They want to keep on building their nuclear weapons and building their mass ballistic missile arsenal, which they're firing at our people. They want to continue to create the two existential threats against Israel while they're talking. That's not going to happen." Asked to respond to some Republicans opposed to America's military support for Israel strikes against Iran, including, say, Tucker Carlson, Netanyahu said Iran is a threat to the entire world. "We're not just fighting our enemy," he said. "We're fighting your enemy. For God's sake, they chant death to Israel, death to America. We're simply on their way, and this could reach America soon." Huh?
Fear. Remember that was better to fight them over there than over here? Sounds familiar to me.
In his Friday newsletter, Carlson wrote, "The United States should not at any level participate in a war with Iran. No funding, no American weapons, no troops on the ground, and that the United States should let Israel fight their own wars. We're taking the action. America is supporting us in defense. Deeply, deeply appreciated. But this is a threat to the entire world," Netanyahu went on to say to ABC. "It's a threat to Israel. As I said, to our Arab neighbors, to Europe, to America. They chant death to America. This is not your business. This is not myopia. This is utter blindness. Sometimes you have to take a stand against evil," the prime minister went on. "And that's what the American people instinctively understand. Most of them, I have to say. And that's what President Trump understands. We cannot let that happen." Carl then went on to ask Netanyahu about whether he would stop bombing if Trump requested him to do so and to resume diplomatic talks. "Well, President Trump has been a great leader," Netanyahu said, "a great leader of the world and a great leader and a great friend of Israel, and he puts forward the terms very clearly in the negotiations. He said Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and in order for it not to have a nuclear weapon, it cannot have the capacity to enrich uranium, which is the prerequisite for nuclear weapons. He later added that the Iranians do not want to continue negotiations in good faith and are stringing the U.S. along."
That's nothing new there. That's what most Middle Eastern countries do when they want to negotiate.
So we'll see. Apparently, the national security meeting is coming up. And, of course, coming up next on Fox News, Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham from South Kakalaki?
Yeah.
The single man that has no family, no nothing, but he don't mind sending everybody else's kids to war? That guy?
Yeah.
When are they going to turn the page on him? He's not what everybody thinks he is.
And then hear from Times of Israel. As Israel pounds Iran with airstrikes targeting military facilities and nuclear sites, officials in Tehran have proposed a variety of steps the Islamic Republic could take outside of launching retaliatory missile barrages. Those proposals mirror those previously floated by Iran in confrontations with either Israel or the United States in the last few decades. They included disrupting maritime shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, though that would also really hurt the Chinese.
Yes.
Leaving the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and directing attacks by terrorists abroad. So the Strait of Hormuz is the narrow mouth of the Persian Gulf through which 20% of all oil traded globally passes. The strait is in the territorial waters of Iran and Oman, which at its narrowest point is only 21 miles wide. The width of the shipping lane is in either direction, it's only 2 miles. Damn. Anything affecting it ripples through global energy markets, potentially raising the price of crude oil. That then trickles down to consumers through what they pay for gas and other oil products. There has been a wave of attacks on ships attributed to Iran since 2019, following President Trump's decision to unilaterally withdraw the U.S. from the 2015 Iran nuke deal and reimpose crushing sanctions on Iran. U.S. forces routinely travel through the strait despite sometimes tense encounters with Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Of course, there's also withdrawing from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and rushing towards a bomb. And then asymmetric attacks by terror proxies. Iran could encourage its terror proxies to carry out more attacks targeting Jewish tourists, synagogues, or Israeli diplomatic missions, as it has done in the past. However, it's been a rough few years for those forces, which Iran has long used as both an asymmetrical way to attack Israel and a shield against a direct assault. Iran's regional proxies, the self-described axis of resistance, has been severely hurt by ongoing Israeli attacks since October 7th, 2023. Hamas attack on Israel, including Lebanon's Hezbollah and Hamas in Gaza. Iraqi groups backed by Iran so far haven't gotten involved, leaving Yemen's Houthi rebels as the only member of the Axis to launch attacks on Israel since its campaign against Iran began, as they were doing beforehand. But the Houthis have so far not intensified their attacks. In fact, a lot of the Houthi missiles have fallen short.
Way short.
Yeah. You do have to wonder, that border of ours was wide open for a while.
Quite a while, Joey. And you remember, I saw a disturbing video last night. I don't remember how long ago it was, but there was one guy in particular. They asked him, it was coming across the border illegally, asked him his name. He said, "You don't need to know my name, but you'll know of me very soon." He's still out there.
No, that's great.
Yeah, still out there.
But, you know, this is just to help people, right? We're just open our borders because of our big, big heart, right? Uh-huh. What a mess. What an absolute mess. As I reported earlier, Israel kills Iran's new military boss 4 days after he replaced the old boss, who was also eliminated. Before dying yesterday, he was the closest advisor to the Ayatollah. So, this will continue. Again, we're in a spectator's position, the vast majority of us.
Oh, you know what?
And we'll see.
I thought was strange, and maybe it's just me, but during the Iraq war, we had live coverage for a good while, missiles going back and forth, things like that. The only things I've seen of that of late with this is from YouTube videos from people on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just me, or are they trying to hide the fact that they're killing folks over there both ways?
I haven't seen as much. I'll agree with you there. And there's plenty on X. But.
Yeah, and I didn't know. I thought maybe it's just mainstream media type deal, or maybe they're trying to do all they can do to just kind of keep it.
Oh, and by the way, one of Russia launched a massive missile and drone attack on Kiev last night?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I saw a clip about it this morning, and
right, but that's several years ago.
That's
like we're over that.
See, that's what I worry about, though. If you're ever going to do anything, just like this sounds horrible, but I'll say it. If you're ever going to commit a serious crime, during a hurricane is the best time to do it.
Right.
Because everything is nutso. You got so many other people watching so many other things. So again, if you ever want to do something while the world is at war is when you do it.
But, you know, there were breakthroughs apparently in trade negotiations. They finalized the UK agreement at the G7. Europe seems to be saying, yeah, we're advancing through negotiations swimmingly. Blue collar wage growth. I think this is the best metric if you're judging domestic, a domestic agenda for Trump.
Yeah.
Rising real wages. Blue collar wage growth under Trump sees largest increase in nearly 60 years. And you're seeing, as we covered yesterday, like 1 million foreign-born workers just leave the workforce.
A lot of, yeah.
Estimating 700,000 to 1 million people self-deporting.
Yep.
And you're seeing a huge uptick in native-born workers. So people say, oh, who's going to do the jobs? Americans do. Yeah, actually,
there was jobs before.
NBC News reported on it was a place in Nebraska, meat processing plant. They did it. ICE did a huge raid. Swept up a lot of people. A lot of people didn't show back up to work. Yep. And then the owner's pretty worried, obviously. They don't have people to work at the factory. And he said the waiting room for job applications was overflowing. They didn't have enough, like, so many folks showing up to work. They didn't have enough room to keep them in there. So it looks like, yeah, people will take the jobs if you pay them more.
If you pay them, right. And not only that, but there's benefits involved, and there's also a balance of work-life. And if you're just working, and I've seen it, been part of it, you're just working the crap out of people, they are going to burn out within a couple of years.
Yep.
And you're going to be right back into that cycle again.
How about this? We got to hit another break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing.
A solid dude, man.
Absolutely. And they're at Cole Plumbing. They're ready to help you with any and all of your plumbing issues. Could be basic things like that drip.
Oh, so annoying.
Drip. Drip. How long can I keep that going? Some people got to go pee now.
Right.
Drip, drip. Like, if you're tired of that, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but you're just tired of that leaky faucet. Of course, Cold Plumbing can fix it. Maybe you got a clogged drain. Maybe it's the shower drain, or it could be, God forbid, the kitchen drain. Don't be pouring Drano down there.
Yeah.
You're just going to destroy your garbage disposal.
Exactly.
Really, you are. It's going to get all steamy and break down. Why not have Cold Plumbing come out and take care of those things? Could be a toilet's broken. Low water pressure. They can fix all of these things.
Yep.
And then, of course, maybe you got a big leak inside or outside your home. Could be a water leak. Could be also something like a gas leak. You smell gas, you need to get on top of that immediately.
Yes, sir.
Cold Plumbing can do that with minimal discomfort to you in your home without having to tear out a bunch of drywall, dig up a huge hole in your yard to find the leak. No, with precision and expertise, they can get that job done, and they can help you upgrade. Say you want a new garbage disposal or a taller toilet. You know, your hips and knees don't work as well, and you want to be a chore to sit on the, do your business.
Right.
They can help you there, or any accessories you want to add to the kitchen or bathroom, or maybe you want to go to a full tankless water heater system. They can do all of that there at Cold Plumbing. So y'all check them out today. You can always go to coldplumbing.com, make an appointment there, or just call them direct, 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
When it comes to selling your home, would you trust your biggest investment to a part-time agent? Someone who might treat your sale as a second priority? Not us. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader. Real estate is all we do and all we've been doing for over a decade.
That's right. We work around the clock to make sure you and your investment are top priority. We're top producing agents with a highly respected reputation for results, and we'll treat you and your sale with the respect and time you deserve.
So if you're thinking of selling, call or text us at 334-368-6358.
And let us show you how real estate is done.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Seeing IDF spokesperson on Fox give an update covering pretty much what we just laid out, actually. About killing people, commanders that were promoted and only stayed in that role 4 days after the predecessor was also killed.
So if you got somebody you really don't like, would it be wrong to put a picture of them on social media as the new head of the...
Don't even.
Just say it. Just say it.
Yeah. Well, and did you catch that video where it was the Iranian state TV and they're...
Yes, dude.
Because, I mean, you see these amazing, amazing, shock and awe, oh my God, the power of it from just aerial shots and whatnot. And the atmospheric explosions, like the interceptors from the THAAD systems, Patriot systems. But you rarely get the video of you're in the building that gets hit and the sound of it. I can't imagine in person.
Crazy was you saw the explosion, the way they split screen, the one I saw it, you saw the exterior explosion like a tenth of a second before her reaction. And that just, I could not imagine.
And honestly, it wasn't that hysterical. It was I just got to get the hell out of
here.
I mean,
she just
stopped.
You could tell it took her, a tenth of a second to realize what it was. And her instant reaction was, got to go.
It's probably disorienting.
It's got, everything's shaking and the noise and everything else. Plus, I imagine you get some, ringing in the ears type deal, the concussion, the whole 9 yards.
What startled me the first time I saw the video, I was like, damn, that was loud. And the volley back and forth.
That's what I thought, and I'm kind of, I guess, glad we're not, but that's what I thought we'd constantly see, just constantly on the TV, the back and forth.
White House officials say U.S. strike on Iran on the table. And so to me, this isn't about just getting rid of the nuclear capability. This is especially like striking state TV, striking like a lot of the Revolutionary Guard. This is clearly a regime change operation. Here's Netanyahu on, doubling down on that, where he spoke to an Iranian, say London-based Iranian media company that wants regime change. And here's the message Netanyahu had to the Persian people.
And your hour of freedom is near. It's happening now. They understand that 80% of the people of Iran despise them. I hear a lot of them. I do these videos that I broadcast to the Iranian people. I tell them how we could offer them help in the water shortage that you have. The regime refuses, of course. We tell them how we could cooperate, these two glorious ancient peoples that have cooperated from the times of Cyrus the Great. Cyrus the Great freed the Jews. Now it's time for you to be free, and you have that opportunity. The people of Iran, I think, have a brilliant future, and our friendship can be restored to what it was and what it should be.
You also had Lindsey Graham last night on Fox essentially saying, wouldn't it be great if we could finally just be done with the Ayatollah altogether? Have something new?
Have a new enemy?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if Saddam's gone? Wouldn't it be great if Gaddafi's gone?
Yeah.
It'll work out so well.
Crazy thing about Gaddafi, and somebody brought to my attention yesterday, after 9/11, Gaddafi was one that reached out and said, hey, we'll do anything we can do. How do we...
Including giving up his nukes, yeah.
How do we say thanks?
He got sodomized to death by a bayonet in the street with people filming it.
Right.
Hey,
right.
And on that cheerful note, we got to hit the stop the hour break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And there at the Goodson Group, Bo and his team are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy or sell here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas. Bo's been working in the River Region real estate market for about half a century now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for somebody with that experience under his belt, he's seen it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Not only can they help you with buying and selling your property, they have management services available should you want to rent out your home. Great idea in this market. But if you don't have experience managing a property, why not get some pros there at the Goodson Group to do it for you? Then the crown jewel there, if you want to become more of a pro yourself, is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School. Whether you're looking to be a licensed real estate agent or a more knowledgeable private player in the real estate market here in the area, got to sign up for the Goodson Group. You can learn directly from Bo, his 50 years of experience, and there's a good reason. It's one of the most highly acclaimed and accredited real estate programs in the great state of Alabama. They're just that good. So check them out today. You can always learn more at thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsor of the program. Coming up, Madeline Cannon.
She's in the house.
Alabama Home Mortgage.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. 6 of the group of 7 leaders trying as their summit wraps up to indicate that the Wealthy Nations Club still has a clout to shape world events. That's despite the early departure of President Donald Trump. The president left that gathering a day early so he could get back to Washington and devote more of his focus to the battle brewing between and ongoing now between Israel and Iran over Iran's nuclear program. It could be hard to catch a flight these days in some parts of the Middle East. The conflict between Israel and Iran forcing many countries to close their airspace as Israeli jets and Iranian exploding drones and missiles fly over the night skies. Retail sales fell sharply in May as consumers pulled back after a sharp increase in spending in March to get ahead of what they feared would become higher prices as a result of President Trump's ongoing tariff battles. This is SRN News.
It's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to. when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our better than normal rain chances certainly continue today, with showers and thunderstorms becoming numerous, but again, mostly by late afternoon and into the early evening hours. That's when your best chance of running into a storm will be. The storms will be random with a high in the lower 90s, heat index 100 or higher, lows at night in the low 70s. Then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, there'll still be storms around each day. But I think the number of storms will start to thin out a bit. And temperatures by late week will be in the low to mid-90s with triple-digit heat indices in the danger range. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE's 25 and 25 has you covered. For just $25 in closing costs, you can tap into your home's equity. No hidden fees, no headaches, just extra cash. Visit your local ASE Credit Union branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, NMLS 420259. Terms apply.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
ASE, an equal housing lender.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Montgomery police have released the name of a woman killed in a Sunday morning double shooting. 28-year-old Carmilla Taylor was one of two women shot in the 2800 block of East South Boulevard around 2 a.m. Taylor was later pronounced dead at a local hospital. Authorities have not yet released the name or updated the condition of the second victim. A $5 million upgrade is coming to the Montgomery Regional Airport. Over the next 18 months, the airport will replace the existing baggage claim with two new state-of-the-art baggage systems designed to improve speed and reliability. The upgrade will also include new car rental counters and aesthetic improvements. Montgomery Public Schools will be hosting a farmers market on Friday, June 20th. The event will take place at the Grove Street MPS Leadership Center from 8 a.m. to noon. The farmers market, which will be the first for any district in the area, will have about 10 vendors. All are welcome to attend. Proceeds will go directly to the farmers. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Troop with Fairland Jewelers. I've been advertising at Blue Water for going on 3 years now. Since starting advertising at Blue Water, we have seen our business grow exponentially. And if you would like to see your business grow, I suggest advertising at Blue Water Broadcasting.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Oh, look, it's Lindsey Graham on the TV. You know, I love women. Especially, I love that new Will Smith song. I like pretty girls. I like pretty girls. That's my jam. I'm Lindsey Graham. But I love war even more. Yep. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's take a break from all that nonsense. And joining us in the studio now, long time no see. I'm glad you're back since the whole renovation's Madeline Cannon.
Hey, yeah, your spot looks a little different.
A little bit. I wanted to be a little spruced up here. I'm a little embarrassed, actually. But
Well,
it'll be better. It'll be better.
Eddie, you've got that touch. Help him decorate the backdrop there.
We've got plans. We just don't have time, but we got plans.
Okay, well, that's half the battle.
When you say Eddie's got that touch, I'm glad you clarified what you're talking about.
Oh, I got that.
He's got that touch.
I got that touch.
Midas
I
touch?
can take $1,000 and turn it into 50 cents in like 2 minutes. I got that kind of touch.
So let's talk about Alabama home mortgage and in particular, like things y'all are sort of in, y'all's trade, what you're watching in terms of the macro economy. Like what might, like people always are still looking at interest rates these days. Like what might happen here? What's your take on this?
Sure, that's the number one question we get every day. What's happening with rates? Should I lock? Are they going to go down? Are they going to go up? I don't have a crystal ball. It's really hard to say with any level of certainty, but the Federal Reserve is meeting today and tomorrow. My opinion, I don't anticipate there to be any kind of change. Why? Well, I say that the president and the chairman of the Reserve, Jerome Powell, have very different outlooks and approaches for what steps need to be taken before interest rates can drop. So I would argue that, Mr. Powell thinks that we need to wait until the data supports it. So he's looking at, CPI and all these things. And he says it's not time to drop rates yet. Meanwhile, you've got President Trump, who's literally begging him, saying, look, like, let's be proactive. Let's go ahead and drop the rates and let's see how the economy reacts to that. So I don't know. I definitely think if the administration could do something unilaterally, we would have already seen the interest rates fall. But, Mr. Powell's in until May of 2026. So until they can get on the same page or there's a new Fed chair, I don't anticipate there to be any kind of big change in rate.
Well, and I know Trump's very sensitive about it. It would help put a little juice into the economy, but it would also apparently they have to refinance a lot of treasury debt, and it'd be nicer to refinance that at a lower rate than the higher rate for long-term costs. But how does that, say, when the Fed makes that decision one way or the other, how does that affect, say, mortgage rates?
Sure. So the Federal Reserve, when they say that the interest rates are being cut, they're not actually cutting mortgage rates. They're cutting rates on auto loans, unsecured debt like a credit card, the interest you make on savings accounts, CDs, but they do impact the mortgage market in a big way. So whatever the Fed does, like I said, it's not inherently driving the mortgage rates, but it does give people that consumer confidence they need to go ahead and buy or refinance. Anybody who's bought or refinanced a home within the last 4 years, if we could get interest rates to come down, that would be a boom for the mortgage market.
We know most people want to move to a newer house, bigger house, but they also know right now they're going to pay more of a premium because houses are more expensive, but also they're going to pay more of a premium on interest rates. So a lot of people are sitting. So they're just waiting for those rates to drop.
And as we've said before, historically speaking, these are not very high interest rates. But if you couple them with the average cost of a home in the United States, I mean, under the Carter administration, yes, rates were in the double digits.
Yeah.
But the average home sale was like $65,000.
Exactly.
Versus now the average home sales over $400,000 nationwide at an average of 7%. I mean, now we're talking about it's not affordable, or we might be able to afford it, but we don't have anything left at the end of the
at
month.
that point, all your money's going to your mortgage. And
so you just answer a question I was about to ask. The rates around on average 7% nationwide. What do you think would maybe be a sweet spot? We don't have to do the whole nation, maybe around in these parts. Like, what do you think would really help folks?
So over 60% of the country with a mortgage has a rate under 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
So if
nobody wants to budge because of that.
Right. But I think, I mean, and we don't even have to get that low. I think if we could get to low 6s, high 5s, that
Just
would be
get some
enough.
movement in the right direction. That would be a biggest thing.
That's right.
Okay, so that's starting to make a lot of sense. That if you're sitting on a home worth several grand, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you've got a nice interest rate, why make any moves on this?
There's a lot of people. I sold a lot of homes with a 3.5% interest rate, and unfortunately, it's a great deal, but those kind of interest rates are kind of gone, and a lot of people, unfortunately, are waiting for them to come back, and they're just not coming.
Or people are in a position where they know if they couldn't afford to buy their house today.
There's a lot of people in that position.
Yeah, they got 3.25 in 2021 on their $350,000 house. And if they had to purchase that today, and now that 350 house is worth $425 and it's at 7% interest, I mean, we're talking about a payment
that puts them out.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering though, we're talking in general. I'm sure there are folks out there listening that it might make sense with say
100%. I mean, I just posted on our Alabama Home Mortgage Facebook page yesterday about 2 people who refinanced. So, and they're 2 of many. We have a pipeline full of people who are still refinancing. So a lot of people think it's not the right time to refinance because of the kind of conversation we're having now.
But it might be the right time for you.
That's right. It all depends on your situation. So I had 2 people. One was a woman in Prattville, and she wanted to do a total overhaul of her kitchen and all the bathrooms. And it was going to take about $125,000 to do it. Well, we were able to do that, and it only increased her monthly payment by $200 a month. Okay, she couldn't have gone to get a loan at the bank for $125,000 at $200 a month.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. Or if she tried to put it all on her credit card, the interest rate would eat her up. It would be so much more than $200 a month.
And then we had another one who it was kind of a combination. He wanted to do some home improvements, but he also wanted to debt consolidate. So we were able to give him just over $17,000 in cash back at closing for him to make those improvements, and lowered his monthly obligations through debt consolidation over $300 a month.
Wow.
So he was able to check off 2 goals by refinancing. So there are people who can benefit from a refinance, especially those that want to make home improvements or are finding themselves crippled with credit card debt.
Well, and if somebody is thinking about buying and they're just thinking about it, like they haven't really made moves, it doesn't hurt to call you all up and be like, hey, I'm looking, and maybe pre-approval is a nice first step for that person just thinking about it.
That's right. I mean, even if you're not ready for us to pull credit just yet, you just want to talk about what the guidelines and requirements are. It's never too soon to do that. Use time to your advantage.
So that number's still 567-4223?
That's right. 567-4223, or you can visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com.
Yeah, it's just a quick application. Y'all call them.
That's right.
And folks, y'all check them out today. There is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS number 1586368, equal housing lender. So, I mean, in general, how's life? How's
from the pictures,
good.
Life's been great.
Yeah, we've been having a good time. Boys are growing. My youngest will be 2 next month. So,
oh, wow.
I know.
I saw him cooking with Dad in the kitchen. That was cool.
Yeah, they love cooking.
Happens
especially on these rainy afternoons.
Yeah,
like
which
you
is
can't get
every
them out.
day.
I know you can't get them outside to play.
Yeah.
They want to do something fun, so we resort to baking.
Yeah, my niece, I talked to my brother last night. He reminded me my niece is now 20 months. So I'm going to go visit them in July.
Okay.
That week of July 4th, take several days off. And I'm looking forward to see them. But yeah, it does happen so quickly. And
It does.
like my dad and I and my grandfather were talking about that. Since COVID, we just brought that up, how that was such a crazy time for so many reasons. It seems like that year, 2020, took forever.
It did.
And then the last 4 or 5 years have flown by.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like I'm like, wait, it's 25. I sometimes have to pinch myself. Like this.
Wait till you get that high school reunion certificate that says, inviting you back to the union, and it's
Yeah.
like 30 years. You've been. You're like, I'm not that old, and you start doing the math. I am that old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I hate saying it, but 1995 seems like it was a couple weeks ago. It was not.
I remember 1995.
Right.
1995
Then it
was a
seemed
good
like
year.
it was just not that long
I was
ago.
Were you
six-
like 5 years old? Okay.
I was 6, 7 years old, but I remember
Well, he's
watching.
loving life.
I remember watching in Pratt, Vegas, at my Uncle Greg's house. He had one of these, rear projection old big screens. Remember those? It was
Yes.
a big black box. And we're sitting there watching the Braves, Tommy Glavine, outside corner, inside, outside corner. And then David Justice hits the one home run.
Yes.
Braves won the World Series. I went to the NLCS that year. And I remember sitting, it was Klesko right there. We were sitting in the outfield, and he had like
the seeds everywhere.
So many sunflower seeds. It was like, man, how many of those guys did that guy go through? So no, I remember 95.
It just seems
the 90s
like
were cold.
As I'm getting older, man, time is flying, just absolutely flying by.
And when you have your grandbabies and your niece and nephew, like you have a child to watch grow, it seems like time. I don't know. It's just different.
It is different. It's funny you say that because the other day they came up for Father's Day. We had a great time at the lake, and I'm used to talking with my grandchildren, and for the most part, it's been baby talk.
Sure.
Leslie had a conversation with me this weekend. I stood there with my jaw open. She's just going to town, talking away like I'm talking to an adult. And I'm just thinking, just a few months ago, I could fit you guys in my hand.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I love them kids. They wear me out though, but I do love them to death.
Yeah, keep you young.
They say keep you young, but I think they age you incredibly.
They do. Ask my knees.
No, and I've noticed a change in my brother where he's still the same guy I've known all these years, but there's an extra edge of responsibility going on there. And how serious he is talking about certain things. I'm like, oh yeah, the stakes have been how's that
raised
going?
up a little bit.
How's it going? You enjoying that? Higher stakes and moving to a brand new city?
Oh yeah, that's when you're moving there, or when you're going there is when they're moving there, right?
They're moving the 23rd of June.
Where are they moving?
From Greenville, South Carolina to Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
And hey, we're licensed for Nashville if you want to move to Tennessee.
There you go. Well, and I looked at the maps and he sent me the new address, and like I'd looked at the map before, you had to go through Atlanta. You had all these now it's just a straight shot up 65.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
At worst, you get Birmingham.
You're going to be one of those guys that start screaming to widen 65 soon.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm trying to figure out what's the right time to leave on Wednesday morning so I don't hit too much craziness in Birmingham.
Oh, like 5.
Yeah, 5.
I'm not being funny.
No,
that's what it came down to. It needs to be really early in the morning,
Yep.
or I need to wait till not leave Montgomery at 9 and hit there at
5 o'clock. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're like, I got all this time. But if you had left 30 minutes later, you'd been sitting in traffic.
That's exactly right. So my first class in law school was at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I would leave at 5:30 to get there by.
Yeah.
It would only really take, if you had no traffic, it'd only take an hour,
Right.
An hour, 15 minutes. But I knew I was going to be sitting there for about 30 minutes before class started. But if I left any later,
It's stressful.
I wasn't going to be there.
Right. And you're in traffic going, I'm just trying to get
I
to
know.
class.
That's right. That's right.
Getting text from a reliable source. And it's, I guess, a game of telephone has DC context. The rumors the U.S. will jump into the conflict here in the next couple hours. Maybe earlier.
That may influence mortgage rates.
That will.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, say the war's on. Do you think they might lower those rates?
Yeah, I mean, historically speaking,
they do, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see.
Try to raise money.
And it makes sense. Like right now it's midday here, but it's about 10 p.m. over there.
Yeah.
And nighttime be the time to strike.
Yeah, when war happens, people get scared. They pull their money out of the stock market. They want something more secure, more conservative. They're going to put it in the bond market. And the bond market is what drives mortgage-backed security.
But what's really secure is land. Land ain't going nowhere.
Well, there you go.
Spoken like a true agent. Yeah, but they got those things called property taxes, right? And you got to upkeep that land,
Kind
right?
of a little bit of rent involved, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, which is so crazy. You're like,
It
land
is
of the
crazy.
free. It's like the land ain't free.
I've never understood that, especially if you've had a property you've paid for, you're older, and all of a sudden you get behind on your taxes. You've had that property for, say, 60 years. If you get just a couple of years behind on your taxes, you take it, man.
Can somebody explain to me why you pay property taxes for the full value every year?
It's a good point.
Every year.
What's ironic?
Like, why doesn't it, a percentage or depreciate or something?
What I paid in terms of the mortgage in a year.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Something like that.
We know depreciation is a true factor, but they don't consider that. Also, it's funny when cities and states go up on their property taxes, you'll see the value suddenly on their end. They'll say the house is worth a lot more than it really is. I get those phone calls all the time where the city or the state says my property is worth this. And I just start laughing. I go, well, you need to ask for
I did hear a story. I'm not going to reveal too much. I don't want to unmask who this is, but talking to a fella here locally saying that on a commercial property, they fought it and won.
You have to.
The first time they fought it, it was like it didn't work. They pissed somebody off and they ignored them. But this time they kind of went through the right way and were able to bring down that appraisal number.
I've got a neighbor that does it every time they come out. every time. He's like waiting in the driveway for him to come reevaluate his house.
I would say some neighboring counties, though, like Elmore, Autauga, like oftentimes when I pull that tax assessment, whatever that number is, I can bet that that's going to be our appraised value at least. Normally, it's pretty low. And so we don't worry about it being low, right? Because we don't want to pay more than it's worth. Right. But it's on the flip side. There's rare occasions where it comes in, the appraisal comes in lower than the tax assessed value. And I say, look, take that appraisal to the county.
Yep. Take it to the county.
Look at Madeline here using Gen Alpha slang bet.
For the record, I am an elder millennial.
No cap.
Yeah. Oh man, have y'all seen that video of the linguistic guy can speak all sorts of languages? He goes to some high school and he does a whole like presentation to an auditorium in Gen Alpha slang to Gen Alpha.
No, I have not.
Oh, I might have to find it. It's a nice little palate cleanser from the craziness of the news.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. The kids freaking love it.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And he does it really well. Like he is multilingual. Can speak. He has a YouTube channel where he goes and travels to all sorts of different countries.
I've seen a couple people like that. They can go anywhere and just speak.
He'll surprise people. And that's a rabbit hole I went down. There's another guy who's a YouTuber online, and he can really speak Chinese well, but he can also speak Indonesian, Russian, the others. And he goes, I can't remember the name of the service, but it's like a video chat thing where you go next, and you're just meeting random people online. Right. And he'll play dumb, like, oh, I'm working on my Chinese. And then he'll just go into perfectly fluent Chinese. And the reactions, that's what's, I think, rewarding about these videos. The reactions from these folks, like, how do you even know that? Like, well, I've never met, are you really an American? Americans can't talk that way.
He'll have the dialect, he'll have everything down so much that, it just blows them away.
Speaking of dialect, have y'all been keeping up with the Karen Reed trial, the retrial?
No. What's going on with that?
A little bit.
Okay. So it's in Boston. And some of the witnesses that take the stand or like the attorneys and stuff, like when they interview them, I don't know, that Bostonian accent, there's something about it that sometimes I'm like, I have no idea what he just said.
Joey wears that hat in here sometimes. He gets a little Bostonian.
What hat?
Your newspaper hat.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, the one that you hadn't worn in a while.
Well, it's hot outside.
This is true. Yeah. So it's so hot you're letting your hair grow?
Yeah,
looking good, by the way, those locks. Do you have any barrettes with you?
No,
it's not long enough to put into the man bun yet. I tried the other night.
Please don't man bun. I will have no choice but to dose you and cut it off.
Would you prefer a man bun ponytail?
I'd rather have the ponytail than the man bun. The man
because
bun
at the initial, like,
is that what we're working towards right now?
The length it's at
I'm
now,
it's talking him out of it. But
it's more like a rat tail at the length it's at now.
Well, you're in Alabama. That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, all these young guys, like 18, 19, 20 years old, they're all trying to bring the mullet back.
Hey, nothing wrong with
the mullet.
So you could always do that. Have it long in the back, business
Bring
in
it
the
back,
front.
baby.
Yeah. Or I can, it's going to get long enough here where I can put it behind my ears. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Why are you giving me a hard time?
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Like, I can't do anything. No, he's wearing a hat. Oh, now his hair's long. No, his hair's too short. Oh, look at what he's wearing today.
Just making conversation.
Not like I comment all the time on what you wear.
What are you wearing today? You bought a bunch of those shirts.
Yeah, they fit.
What's that fabric?
Cotton, soft.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a really soft, like a.
Yeah, I like it. In the summer, it's not too hot.
That's nice.
It offsets the heat of his hair.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, that's holding some heat.
Yeah, it is. I get it. I'm trying to cut mine off.
Anyway, we're just trying to avoid talking about, because I'm looking at both TVs. It's like Trump calls for immediate evacuation of Tehran, monitoring complex situation on the ground, says Tammy Bruce of the State Department. The situation room meeting about to happen soon. All sorts of folks saying, yep, they're about to enter the fray.
Maybe it's just, I hate saying it, but maybe it's super hard negotiation. I don't know, but I don't want us to get into this. I really don't.
Well, because, I mean, can't we just do a little bombing and then we just back off, right?
I really don't fear Iran as much as I fear their allies.
Yeah.
Like China and Russia and,
And I honestly,
Pakistan.
Not our war. That's not my problem. Not my problem.
Anyway, how about we do this? Let's hit a break. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Recently, I met with 3 different owners of homes who had the same problem. They wanted to sell their house quick and sell it as is for cash. All 3 people were approached by different investors that said they had cash for their home signed contracts, only to find out they were not personally going to buy their homes, but to find a buyer willing to pay more than they offered and pocket the difference. It's called wholesaling. Offer a contract to buy a house at a certain price, up to price to other buyers, and pocket the difference. I urge you, don't fall for it. You want to sell your home quick, use a licensed professional realtor, as I have been for 48 years, keeping promises to get homes sold quick. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225. Call Bo Goodson at 221-2883.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
For reliable electrical services in Central Alabama, trust the experts at Crosby Electric. Crosby's licensed and insured electricians are ready to tackle any project for your home. From troubleshooting, repairs, to installing new lighting and preventive maintenance. And Crosby understands the need for quality service for small business. Crosby is big enough for the largest job, yet small enough to bring real value. Visit CrosbyElectric.com to schedule your service. Crosby, powering Central Alabama with excellence.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hi, I'm Allison Chandley, Account Executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Nearly 90% of people in our area listen to local radio stations more than 14 hours every week. Blue Water is the most listened to group in Central Alabama. Put our stations to work for your business. Contact me, Allison Chandley, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our better than normal rain chances certainly continue today, with showers and thunderstorms becoming numerous, but again, mostly by late afternoon and into the early evening hours. That's when your best chance of running into a storm will be. The storms will be random with a high in the lower 90s, heat index 100 or higher, lows at night in the low 70s. Then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, there'll still be storms around each day. But I think the number of storms will start to thin out a bit. And temperatures by late week will be in the low to mid-90s with triple-digit heat indices in the danger range. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Hey, this is Jody Pangle with Peaches and Clean Powerful Carpet Cleaning. Have you been putting off your home carpet cleaning for a while? Give us a call at Peaches and Clean so we can bring your carpeting back to life. Check us out online at peachesandclean.com.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. I'm here as Joey Clark. Eddie Vedder and Madeline Cannon here in the studio.
Hello.
Madeline, have you been down to the river park yet to do the rafting?
The whitewater?
I have not. Have you?
I have gone twice, but last year, and it was all right. It was fun. But Pamela and I were talking the other day, and we were trying to get Joey down there. So you being a big sponsor of the show and having the pool, you could kind of say, hey, I would like to see Joey go down the slide.
There isn't a slide.
It's a slide.
It's not a slide.
You just go down it in a boat, but it's a slide.
Did you hit your head this morning?
It's a slide. It's fiberglass slide.
Did you take your pills?
I went down it twice. You hadn't even seen it yet.
It's not a slide.
What would you call it then, Joey?
I would call it a rafting course. You use a boat to go through it.
Yeah, you ride the slide.
The slide. He makes it sound like it's at a
The
pool or
slide,
something.
yeah, like a little slide.
It is.
I mean,
But
I saw
anyway-
this whole. I wish they had built cabanas with water slides. That would have been a lot more fun.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, anyway.
But with the kind of pool that you have, you could say that, hey, I would love to see, this show that you sponsor. I would love to see that guy go down that water park slide. I'm just saying, just keep that, just think about it.
Okay.
And, you might could come out, we could do a whole special, or I could just live stream it as we do it. We put the GoPro on Joey and one on his face so we could see his reaction as he go down with, of course, a t-shirt on representing the company.
He's really thought all this out. I think you should be in too.
Oh, I'm down. I'm all
sure,
of it.
right,
I'll be talking narrating the whole thing.
Narrating. Listen, he's not going to be in the water.
Can I ride you like a seal?
If that's what
down
it
the
takes,
slide?
Joey, if that's what it takes, I will lay down and you put a saddle on my back and we would go down the slide together.
This is
That
getting
sounded
weirder by the
very,
moment.
wrong.
This
Yeah.
is getting weirder.
That sounded
Hey,
very
has the
wrong.
bombing?
Saddle up.
Has the bombing started yet? Anyway, I mean, this is what happens.
Yeah.
When things get weird, war breaks out.
I see why now.
People do stuff. Let's go to T-Spear. Hey, T-Spear.
Hey there. How are y'all doing today?
Pretty good.
Good, good. Well, I was going to comment about the hair issue.
Okay.
And I will remind you, Joey, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams,
Oh, I know where she's going with this.
Patrick Henry, John Paul Jones, George Washington, all had a ponytail.
With
There you go.
little bows at the end too.
And I
Yes,
think
they
the
had a
president.
beautiful black ribbon, and it was all really nicely done, and
Yeah.
they tied it up with a ribbon.
Weren't
So
a
when
lot of
you will
those
do
wigs,
that,
though?
I will approve of your hair.
Weren't a lot of those
What was
wigs.
that?
We could do
Well,
the
they had
antiquing.
wigs too.
We could do the
But-
antiquing. We could put the flower in your hair and make it look that way.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
the wigs were used for whenever they went to film, but on the regular time, they all had long hair.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, and I think
But
the
try to keep
president
it
with
con-
the best hair, and not to knock Trump, is Andrew Jackson. See those old
Oh,
portraits?
yeah. He had
Man.
gorgeous hair.
That guy.
And once again, he had it tied back in a tail.
Yeah, he kept it respectable.
Yeah.
I can keep it respectable, but I'm doing a
Well-
talk radio show. It's not like I'm running the country or
Had
anything.
barrettes.
Yeah, but they were running farms.
Yeah, Joey.
What
Yeah.
you do is, and lending your voice to some of the patriots out there. I mean, y'all make a big difference in how some people feel. Y'all,
Oh, I know. They called me. Let me know.
Well, y'all change minds on some issues. So don't think that you're not heard, and just because you're not seen does not mean that you're not heard.
Well, thank you, T.
If you're gonna do the long hair thing, pull it back and put it in a Patriot tail.
I love it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Patriot tail.
The whole red, white, and blue thing. Yes.
No.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the advice, T-Spear. Thank you. You made me feel a little more confident.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, T-Spear.
Let's go to line 3.
He's
You're on
sure
there.
to pick somebody up with a Patriot tail.
Oh, yeah, I got to find one. Oh,
See, I was trying to go to somebody, and they all of a sudden,
They
hey,
probably have a
line 4,
Patriot
you're
tail.
on there. Who's this?
This is Don.
Hey, Don. What's up?
Joey, I don't know who your buddy is, but I don't believe he's ever been to Whitewater. I don't know no slide out of Whitewater.
Well, if you look up on my
Well,
YouTube channel, you'll see me going down the slide.
I don't have to
Whitewater
look at
2
the
times.
YouTube. It's only about 5 miles downtown. I can go out.
Well, I mean, unless I'm there, you're not going to see me go down it. So
I didn't ask to see you. I just said there's no slide out. But I was out there at about 10 o'clock, and I tell you what else was there? Customers.
good deal.
I had
Maybe
a
we won't
little
have to
birdie-
kick in an extra 500
A little birdie
grand this
told me
year.
they're about 2 months behind on the electric. But the one great thing is, Doug Singleton's over at the Paris airplane show.
And his
So-
Mayor Reed, too. Yeah.
And the mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad somebody's looking out. You know, when you talk about Whitewater, they say they put Whitewater St. Maxwell. So I guess they're over in Paris buying planes to St. Maxwell. So, but there is no slide out there. I mean, there's a ramp in which you enter the water flow, and it's a channel that goes down, and it's but here's the thing that tickled me the other day. They said they're going to pay for 200 spots per camp out there. Alabama Power.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's about 4 or 5 pumps that run out there that utilize $100 per hour of electricity. So about $500 an hour just on electricity alone. Which is, you think those little 200 spots that Alabama Power is paying for is going to make a difference?
No, not really.
You know, the thing's going bankrupt. The question is, how much are people going to put into it to allow Doug Singleton to save face? It is not going to last. You can't keep you're doing all kinds of other events to get people to go out there. Not once do they talk about going out there Whitewater. They're going out there for bands and DJs and everything else.
Maybe they should add a slide.
Got one. Just got to
They don't have a slide, Eddie.
Well, I think they got a kiddie park somewhere, but if that's where he may not even go in the right place, he's probably never been there. But there is no slide.
I've gone there twice, man. I don't know what I need to do. You can go to the YouTube channel and argue with me all day long. I don't give a crap, to be honest. I tried to put it over, but y'all want to argue about it. It's a piece of crap money hole, but y'all want to argue about it. Be done with it. I give a crap.
All right. Thanks, Don. Wait, were you joking about the slide thing?
It's a slide. It's a fiberglass freaking slide that holds water. What do you want to call it? I don't care. It's a freaking slide. What happens when you get on it? You slide down it.
Dawn said it's a ramp. I guess ramp slide.
No, there is a ramp that pulls you up to the top. It sure does.
Yeah,
it's like an automatic moving sidewalk.
Oh, really?
Yes, it pulls you to the top
It's
of the slide where you go back down.
Like a roller coaster.
No, I don't do the clickies. More
man, that would
like a conveyor belt.
That's what it is. Big conveyor belt.
You seen the rock wall yet?
No, I did not see the rock wall. We were in the bar.
The zip line?
Did not see the zip line. We went 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
When it first opened, it was like the best it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been to the restaurant?
Yep.
Is it any good?
My truth experience was I watched the bartender get cussed out. I watched the manager get cussed out for lack of service.
Oh, wow.
We ordered 2 beers, never got them and left.
You see, but I love this because he's in a
This is me. I went down there to try to help it.
No, and also like he in this moment is trying to put it over, talking about the slide in a jovial way, and some people don't understand sarcasm. Let's go
Montgomery.
to line
It does
one.
so well here.
You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, this is Sam. I'm over here on the southern bypass, and there's a storm, black as Egypt, slowing traffic down. Just it's a good hard front coming through Montgomery right now. But it's affecting the whole. It's all the way up the whole southern bypass. But yeah, man, I just wanted to throw that in there. I was telling Eddie earlier. I was sitting with my mother about noon, having lunch with her, and YouTube. That's when it just started blowing up with all the bad news. But that's what I like about you, Joey. If I'm gonna get bad news, I want it from from people that, friendly people. I'm just going to say that. Friendly one. Oh, man, that's all I got. But it's just, it's not often you see something slow the traffic down out here.
Well, we just got a flash of power outage, so, but I appreciate it, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank y'all for the show.
See you, buddy. Yeah, we might have I think the board will keep running. We might have the stream knocked out, though.
I keep waiting for the emergency broadcast thing. That's what usually happens when we're.
Oh, that thing?
Yeah.
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 And were people still relying on that?
The National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a severe thunderstorm warning.
That was Madeline. That was Madeline.
You got a really good voice.
We're not trying to break any rules here. That was Madeline.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was playing.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some activity outside. You can see it with the lights flickering in here. I mean, they're flickering more than they usually do.
I haven't heard those sirens, though.
We'll see. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. Aren't they great over there?
Some of the best people I know.
So basic pest control needs. We often are saying, because it's the season, mosquitoes, you don't like them, they can get rid of them.
Yep.
Get you on a regular schedule. But you've been highlighting, especially those of you who got pets that like to spend a lot of time outside, they can come and treat your yard for fleas.
Yes, they do. They do it very well, too.
Yeah, so if you don't want that being trekked inside, and that can be nasty for humans too, right? Like you can get a pretty big infestation pretty quickly.
Very quickly. And if you got kids or anything like that, man, they just sit there and eat up your ankles. And before you know it, you got to get some professionals to really come in, spray. And
you're wondering, did a mosquito get in? Like, I mean, you got to, like, why does it?
Fleas are the worst.
So if you're trying to get rid of these pests, especially those ones that enjoy the heat and humidity, like those mosquitoes, the fleas, y'all check out Pest Pro Services. Get on a monthly schedule with them. That's 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services, great sponsor here of the program. Be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie sent you. Hey, as we're waiting on whether or not the U.S. is going to get actively involved in bombing Iran, I think I found this video I was talking about. How the guy, he's a polyglot, I think is the word. He can speak many languages.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to speak Gen Alpha dialect to a crowd of Gen Alpha folks. And it's actually pretty fantastic. He does a great job of this. So let's listen in together.
The Gen Alpha dialect of English. I'm going to deliver the rest of this speech in your very own native tongue. It's low-key a huge W to be vibing here at Westtown High School for Languages Week. But chat, let's lock in. Rotate, prepare. Now, I know it's giving to Lulu for this chuggy boomer to speak in such skibbity brain rot, but if you'll bear with me, I'll put the fries in the bag in just a second.
I mean, so far, it's actually not that difficult to follow along with this dialect and slang.
What's skibbity?
I didn't know that one, but I'll put the fries in the bags. Like, I'll get to the point here in a second. Like that, yeah. Some of these things contextually make sense.
Do actually have a message here, type shit. No cap, I was dead ass pressed about understanding this language. But I had to absorb the drip so I wouldn't get aired by your generation. High key, people think Gen Alpha slang is just memes and brain rot, but on God, it's giving linguistic glow up core happening IRL. Every time you drop a gyat or it's giving, you're legit patching the English language DLC with fresh updates, literally shifting the English meta. Language evolves because you're constantly cooking new ways to pass the vibe check. And honestly, your memes today finna hit as the textbook vocab of tomorrow. Bet.
So, I mean, he goes on. He does, it's a pretty good job. I mean, all those Gen Alpha kids seem to love it.
Seems like it. No, Gen Alpha, that's like today's teenagers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
High school kids right now.
Dang.
I'm starting to hear the rain outside. Yeah. You didn't seem, I think as I like, we're millennials, but as I looked at you, you were not impressed by all that slang.
Watching my video of me going down the slide at the water park.
Let me see. That's a rafting course.
It's a slide.
That's not a slide.
Four boats wide slide.
There's literal rapids. You're in a boat.
You never been on a water slide that's got rapids, Bubba? Have you ever been down a water slide?
Yeah, I've been down a water slide.
Did it have rapids?
No.
Then you went down the kiddie slide.
I didn't go down the kiddie slide. I'm trying to think the last water park I went to. Yes, when I was a
Best
kid, we
one-
went to the one in Auburn for a while.
Best one is Six Flags over Atlantis. I think it's near
I think I've been
Miami.
there once.
That was the
Yeah,
bomb,
yeah,
man.
pretty crazy. And
Yeah.
I like the more enclosed ones that were huge though. Where you
Steep,
have the
like the one at
real
the
steep
beach,
but
it's-
enclosed. The ones I did not want to do were the ones that are really steep and you're like exposed.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm
scared
good.
you're gonna get on a side there.
I'm good. Like it's not so much the drop; it's more like one wrong move and you might hurt yourself.
Well, that and your shorts can have a yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want everybody to be disappointed.
Well, that and you're getting out and you kind of got to walk funny for a little bit, and yeah, maybe a few burns from it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done an actual water.
I don't know if there's any big water.
We do a
parks
water
that's still
park
around.
in our backyard every weekend.
Right,
these
that's
days.
what I'm used to doing.
Nice.
Yes.
Like we'd put out the plastic, put out some soap, and
Yeah.
slide down the hill.
Well, we got one of those big inflatable things from
Oh, cool.
Costco.
Yes.
Yeah. Kids love it.
Oh, I bet.
They beg every night for crocodile slide, crocodile slide, crocodile slide. So it used to be a weekend thing, and now it's like every day we come home from work, it's time for the crocodile slide.
Hey, it's pretty good to get your money's worth out of it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. No, that's what I wanted when they first announced this. I'm like, if I'll go hang out,
think a
sip
lot
a
of people do.
cocktail, and hang out on the lazy river.
I think a lot of people would.
And that's not what this is.
We did have one in Montgomery when I was a kid, next to the Honda shop. It was a real deal water slide. I forget how much you paid, maybe like $8 or something. You got to go down for a half hour. Man, that was fun. That was
Yeah. Yeah. The video I saw, it must have been some Caribbean location or whatever, where it's cabanas with like long walkways, and
Yeah.
each one had like massive water slides, like
Oh, wow.
off of them. Yeah. And by massive, I mean not like at a real park, but like a 20, 30 footer.
yeah, it's still pretty good.
Yeah. It's still pretty fun.
It's still pretty
Hang
good.
out in the cabana, like, want to go hit the slide, fall into the ocean.
Well, I've seen a few of those houses on the Rich and Famous that had the slide that goes from upstairs to the main part of the house.
Okay, sitting here with two people working the housing market, have you ever gone down the rabbit hole of like the weird homes that people do, especially the odd Airbnbs? Like some of the ones that are like built into the forest, like the tree house.
There's one in Colorado
location.
right now that's for sale. It's the Fred Flintstone house. It is
Huh.
built into a mountain. It looks like a Fred Flintstone house. It's
Don't they
right at
call them like a
$1 million.
berm home or
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And when you go inside, it's beautiful, but it's you living in a cave. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, but you're in a cave. I've seen some beautiful ones like that, but
Like a hobbit.
yeah, exactly.
And I've seen the Hobbit ones. Like, they
oh
have
yeah, I've
Hobbit
seen
ones.
those Hobbit Airbnb ones. Those are pretty cool.
I like those a lot.
But I swear, there's a website out there, I think Facebook page on the like strange houses for sale,
Mm.
and there are some that are time capsules, true time capsules from like the 60s, but there are some that you can see were entertainment houses,
Oh, sure.
and
Sure.
they still have all the entertainment stuff there.
Like the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, clubhouses, I guess you'd say. Yeah,
Sure.
but there's a lot of them out there, but what's killing me here lately, or cracking me up, more people are buying a house than 3 years later finding another room in their house. Or
Really?
this lady in Jersey found a whole basement that is like as big as her house, but it's a basement underneath their house. People are finding this kind of stuff like crazy.
I always wanted to live in a wizard's tower, where it's just like a big tower, like with floors. Each floor is a room, essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the whole idea of the lighthouse. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I mean, also it doesn't hurt. Like the idea of a simple A-frame out on the lake, like not a bad idea.
where I started. Be careful.
Yeah,
It gets
that's
out of
how it
hand.
is.
It gets out of hand in a hurry.
No, right across the street from my dad on the coast. They're actually on the coast. He's across the street from him. It started as an A-frame, and it's now expanded it into this 5,000 square foot
Just gets
thing.
out of control.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. Like but I can't imagine how much money they put into this stuff. But that's always a fun rabbit hole to go down. Like all the weird houses. One is like a tree house I saw where it is essentially hidden until you finally hit this one turn on the path.
Yeah.
And it's like they built the house around the tree. And it's absolutely gorgeous.
I think out west you could still buy the old nuclear silos, and people have turned them into houses.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like many stories down, and your door is just this big steel door. It looks like nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like stuff that needs to be comfy and functional. Some of these places, it's too.
I don't know. 40 feet underground sounds pretty comfortable to me.
Yeah, but it's too like tutti frutti. It's too like artistic. Like the place like Tim Dillon tried to stay. Where
there's a lot of those.
Yeah, where it's like the furniture sucks and like
Yeah, don't
everything
sit on
is
the furniture
sleek
and
and
break
all
it.
these angles and
It doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies.
yeah, I don't like that sort of thing. I like something though. It is where my aunt and uncle live in Auburn. It's all the rage to put the white paint on the brick.
Hey,
and
now.
everything is white. I don't
Hey,
like
now.
it. You a fan of that?
Hey now. Hey. My house is painted white.
What color's
brick.
your house, Bella?
I'm just saying. The house I'm in, it's the natural brick, and
Yeah.
no, but it is and their whole house is just
What
white.
do they call
Everything's
it?
white.
Whitewash? Or there's an actual
mean-
name, but it is pretty. I like it.
Well, there's different ones. I have like German schmear, and which that's
German
I
shit.
know. I didn't know that was coming.
no, but it's like it's got a texture to it, and
Okay.
you can still see the natural brick like,
Through it? Okay.
Yeah, but no, ours
Okay.
is just painted brick, and and I get it. Big opinions about painted brick because you're taking something that's not maintenance and turning it into maintenance.
Mm.
But in my defense, we did an addition to our home, and our brick did not exist anymore because
That's
our home
it.
was old.
That's the biggest thing. Yep.
Yeah,
That's fair.
and so in order to keep it from looking mismatched
Yep.
and having half the house one type of exterior and the front being the old brick, we just picked a brick and painted the whole thing, so it all looked
I
like
think
it was
that's
original.
pretty smart.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm saying this is like a trend in that area.
Oh, I
Oh, it's a
know.
All
trend,
these-
period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you walk in and every finish, all the walls are white, all the crown molding's white, the countertops white, like the granite counter,
Shiplap.
everything is white. And I'm like, man, I
Got
feel
some
like
of
I'm,
that too.
It's a good thing because it's a very popular trend. It's funny because girls, women, ladies like this kind of stuff.
yeah.
Most guys are like, yeah, where's the garage?
Now give me the
Where's the backyard?
I want dark like hardwood. I like that old like the mahogany. I like in a brass water
I do too,
bed.
but I've been told that it's
Water
very out of
bed.
style.
No,
He tried to sneak
Go
that
play
in.
ya.
I don't want to.
We can hook you up with Greg. He's probably still got one in the store somewhere.
No, I got a perfectly good bed. Hey, I advise the purple mattress still plays all
There you
these
go.
years later. But yeah, no, I don't like their house is beautiful. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's not me. I like more dark tones,
Yeah.
earth tones, these
Well,
sorts of things.
A lot of the like the tiny houses people are building, you can paint them in everything you want, and I've seen a lot of those painted just black, like Adam's Family black, and they don't look bad. I don't know how they're going to age and look, but they kind of look pretty good. There's a couple in Deatsville that
I don't know about
that
black.
it looks to me it looks really it looks really really cool. But again, I wonder how they're going to age, it's gonna get chalky, that kind of thing over time. I'm like with Madeline, I want low maintenance, just low maintenance. I'm too
Anyway.
old for that crap.
Let's hit this quick break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
When you need a new door or window replaced, you want it done right. Someone who delivers expert craftsmanship every time, experience is a must. Listen, Davis Door and Sash. They can show you new doors and windows that can help you lower your utility bills and boost energy efficiency. Davis Door and Sash, Alabama.com or call 334-288-6010. Davis Door and Sash, the perfect fit for your home.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
So I'm just seeing that. Is the bombing started yet? Seeing any of that, folks? No news on that yet? Oh, well. 272-9228. Now, this report came out. I think it's a little stupid that people need to be told this, but maybe they need to be. This is from parade.com. I'm feeling pretty already.
Mm-hmm.
Experts urge Americans in these 3 states to hold off on coffee.
Huh?
Yeah, saying drinking it could be dangerous.
Why? Because it has mold in it.
If you live in one of these, it might be time to put down your coffee mug, at least for now. With a record-breaking heat wave sweeping across the Southwest, experts are warning that your daily cup of joe could do more harm than good. As temperatures soar well into the triple digits, staying hydrated is absolutely essential. The problem is caffeine, which is a key ingredient in coffee. Like, thank you for telling us.
It's a
Yeah, I don't know
key
if you knew
ingredient in
that
a
or
lot
not.
of things. I mean,
Yeah.
hello.
caffeine acts as a diuretic, meaning it can make you lose
You're dehydrated.
fluids faster and increase the risk of dehydration. Really, they needed to put out this
No, but everybody needs a job to do, Joey.
Well, it's not just coffee. Most people are sipping down the energy drinks.
Right.
That's to me going to be, and my family's seen it, but that to me is going to be your generation's thing that they didn't see coming. The damages from that.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it. Like, I know it.
But I just think the long-term thing, especially with the heart health.
Yep.
The amount of caffeine I was drinking, I've gotten to where at least it's I try to do around at least under 300, but more like over like 150 is probably the sweet spot. I was getting up to where I was drinking like 2 or 3 of those Bang Energies a day, man. That's 900 milligrams.
I don't know if it's the caffeine as much as all the other stuff that's in there with it.
The chemicals.
Oh, that too.
Yeah. Like Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow, whatever they were. Remember?
Or like, what is it in Red Bull here? I got a sugar-free one. Is it taurine? Something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they said that is leading to the speed of certain cancers, like to grow. I mean, it doesn't lead to cancer, but if you already have that cancer,
speeds things up.
It speeds it up. Yeah.
Well, damn.
Well, we're all going to die from something, aren't we?
Yeah,
this is very true.
Tis true. Tis true. I'm just looking here.
Have you ever tried an Herbalife loaded tea? You know all these places now that sell the loaded teas.
I've got hooked on the Bobo teas here lately, I've never tried the Herbal.
Well, it's like your energy drink, but without all the bad stuff in it. It's all natural.
I'll have to
I
try
mean, it still
that
has caffeine in it. I think it's 200. In a.
You ever tried a cocoa leaf? I hear they're really good. It's all natural.
And just chew them?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, you don't have to process them at all. You suck on them.
Yeah.
And on that note, we got 1 more hour left. We'll let you know when the bombing starts. Y'all stay tuned.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. 6 of the group of 7 leaders will try to show the Wealthy Nations Club still has a lot of clout to shape world events. That's despite the somewhat disappointing early departure of President Trump. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney and his counterparts from the UK, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan are being joined by Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky. As for President Trump, he made the departure early so he could get back to Washington and put more of his focus on the ongoing battle between Israel and Iran. Members of Congress attending emergency security briefings after the killing of a Minnesota state lawmaker. The shooting at the lawmaker's home has raised fresh concerns about the safety of members of Congress at the state and federal level. The suspect in that attack had dozens of federal lawmakers listed in his writings. Slow going on Wall Street. The Dow is down 275 points. This is SRN News.
Hey, everybody. Charlie Kirk here. As executive director of Turning Point USA, a national radio host, podcaster, husband, and father of 2, my schedule is about as crazy as it can possibly get. 2 years ago, I made the decision to take control of my health, and I chose PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition because I needed a plan that fit my hectic lifestyle. I travel a lot, and my schedule changes every week, so I need something simple. They customized a plan for my body and my schedule, and I quickly lost 30 pounds. Now I have the energy and focus to get through my busy day. PhD will help you too. They won't let you fail. Just give them a call, schedule your weight loss consultation, and see if their program is right for you. Call 855-696-2020. That's 855-696-2020. The first 11 callers who mention the word healthy will get 2 weeks added to their weight loss package. Call 855-696-2020 and mention the word healthy, or visit them at myphdweightloss.com. That is myphdweightloss.com. It worked for me, and it can work for you. Myphdweightloss.com.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our better than normal rain chances certainly continue today, with showers and thunderstorms becoming numerous, but again, mostly by late afternoon and into the early evening hours. That's when your best chance of running into a storm will be. The storms will be random with a high in the lower 90s, heat index 100 or higher, lows at night in the low 70s. Then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, there'll still be storms around each day. But I think the number of storms will start to thin out a bit. And temperatures by late week will be in the low to mid-90s with triple-digit heat indices in the danger range. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. Since we began in 1906, at CB&S Bank, we're here for you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
1819 News.
Alabama Republicans are supporting President Trump and his latest comments on the country of Iran, which is currently under attack from Israeli forces in order to eliminate the Iranian nuclear program. Trump said that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Congressman Robert Adderholt agrees that for the sake of Israel and America's future, the Islamic regime that's in control of the country of Iran cannot be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon. Adderholt says this is in light of the fact that Iran has called for the death and destruction of both Israel and America. Adderholt says when a country repeatedly calls for the destruction of another country, there is no reason to not believe them. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A volunteer coach and healthcare marketing professional is planning to run for mayor of Spanish Fort. Brad Bass has been a longtime resident of the city and believes something must be done to retain and grow businesses while also protecting the residential zoning and creating green spaces. Bass says his focus will be on public safety, retail revitalization, transportation, and athletic facility improvements. A tragic death occurred on the waters of Bayou Sara this past weekend. 27-year-old Brittany Sherman was thrown into the waters after two boats collided. Sherman died as a result of that crash. Her husband and 4-year-old child on board the boat were also injured. Sherman was the mother of 4 young children. A GoFundMe account was created to help the South Alabama family. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Let the games begin. Yeah! Fox Tonight starts with the 1% Club, hosted by Joe McHale.
If answering questions on TV makes you nervous, try to picture your brain naked.
Then, when these master manipulators compete,
this is a game about making friends and faking friends.
Charm is currency, and kindness is a con.
I will put you in front of a moving truck to win $100,000.
Jim Jeffries hosts the new competition.
This night.
Tonight on Fox 20.
Here at Adams Drugs, we let our customers do the talking. I'm here with Ronnie Taunton, who was a longtime customer of Adams Drugs, moved away for 3 years, and came back to town recently. Ronnie, what did you do for another pharmacy when you moved out of town?
When we moved to Fairhope, we were looking for a local. We did not want to go to a big box store. And we did find one, but the service was not up to par. Adams Drug really spoiled us.
What was it like to come back to Adams Drugs again?
It was very easy. We picked up the phone when we got back, came up to Prattville and called the branch there in Prattville, and they took that phone call and did the rest of it. We didn't have to do a thing. It was very simple. We're glad to be back with them. They're so efficient and customer service oriented.
Come in to any of our 12 Adams Drugs locations. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net to find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Vedder and Madeline Cannon here in the studio with me.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. Just kind of waiting, wondering what President Trump's going to decide. Apparently, he's going to release a statement after this National Security Council meeting in the Situation Room is over and done with. They are in the midst of that meeting as we speak.
Okay.
So we'll see.
We're on Weather Watch and War Watch.
I know.
And of course, Fox News has General David Petraeus on. Like, let's just bring everybody back from the early 2000s. Let's just bring it all back.
He should be in prison.
You still haven't forgiven him for all
Never will.
that tryst of his, that love affair with that.
Well, he gave up whatever he could.
Woman.
Yeah, gave up whatever he could, and we just let it go. Meanwhile, you had a Navy guy that did simply no more than take a picture inside a submarine, a selfie, and well, he's sitting in Leavenworth. So until that kind of thing is handled, he can always go suck an egg.
Well, and last night, would you believe that Sean Hannity, who, by the way, is laying on the makeup thick these days.
He's getting older, Joey.
Yeah, well, he's got him a younger wife. You know, he's married old Ansley.
Yeah. Money goes a long way. But, just lean into it. Why not be old? Stop pretending that you still have the tight face of a 30-year-old.
It's funny you say that to me because I would always thought that, but as I'm getting older now, I see why realtors keep their business card from 20 years ago.
Okay, that's fine. Keeping your old business card is fine. But don't you do the whole, pulling back.
Oh, I can't.
Please don't.
Oh, I couldn't.
Don't.
But for one, I'm redneck. I would do it myself. So let's just start with that.
Gross. Okay.
Right.
You're going to end up as a character on your mom's house if you
Joey,
do that.
Can I borrow your staple gun again this weekend? Got some surgery I got to do.
Yeah, but please don't do the plastic surgery.
I couldn't. I've mocked everyone I've ever seen do it.
Because you don't look young.
Well, here's the thing, and it really disturbed me, and I love her to death, but I hope she's not listening. But my mother did it years ago.
Yeah.
It was not the same. It took me over a year to accept that that face was my mother.
Oh,
I
my.
mean, it really messed with me bad.
Yeah?
And it wasn't drastic by no means. In fact, Susanna thought it was hysterical. But it got me. I mean, it was like when you're looking at something and it's not supposed to be there.
Like Reba, she messed herself
good
up
example.
bad.
Very good example.
Yeah.
Meg Ryan, yeah. Man, she used to be a.
But I'll tell you who's done it right. Kris Kardashian.
Really?
Kris Jenner, whatever her name is.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Have y'all seen her lately?
Uh-uh.
Oh, yeah. She's done all the things to her face. She looks like she's the age of her daughters now.
Really?
But it doesn't look creepy. Like it looks natural.
See, that's how most of them look. They get that real creepy, uncomfortable
Like a
look.
lizard or Barbie doll look. Yeah.
Just pulled back a little too tight.
Right. It's one of those things.
They say bangs is the new Botox. So I'm going to keep my bangs.
Now, what is Tom Cruise doing?
Okay.
Well, he's wrapped up in the Scientology.
He doesn't look as good as he used to.
Well, of course not.
I can really start to see his aging bad.
Tell me more how good he used to look at it.
He used to be very easy on the eyes.
Yeah? How did you feel when you first saw him in Risky Business?
Well, I honestly felt a little bit uncomfortable because he looked so good.
Yeah, you did?
I had a moment. But then that lady came out and I go, oh, yeah, that's the team I'm on right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Back when he was playing volleyball on the beach.
Yeah, I feel fine now.
Yeah, I felt uncomfortable there. I feel great now.
Perfect.
It's, just, it's like a cat trying to hunt you, and you just get a toy and redirect it.
Exactly.
Hunt the toy.
I needed redirection.
You're right. You're about to hunt Tom Cruise.
No, I just needed redirection.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't wear tighty whities anymore because of that.
I'm so glad those have gone into the dustbin of history for most folks.
Have they?
I couldn't do tighty whities. Oh, have they? Have they?
I don't know. Maybe not for Eddie. He's still wearing his from 1995.
No, they had blowouts. I had to go with boxers and things. So,
God.
Men don't replace their underwear. That's the only thing they ever get for
need
Father's
to.
Day. So
no, I'm at the point where I need to.
Yeah. Once you become a dad, you'll get new underwear every year because that's the only thing you'll ever get for Father's Day.
Right? No, when you start to get the little poles, like the tiny hole.
I don't know what you're talking about. I get new underwear every year.
No, yeah, you do. All right. Just whitey ties. It's so uncomfortable compared to what is available.
Especially with
now.
a big old racing stripe on them. Nobody wants that.
I didn't know where he was going. A big old something. I was like, okay, then.
You know what? This conversation's so unseemly. I think I've worked up the courage to listen to Lindsey Graham last night on Hannity, which started this whole conversation.
Now, I'll tell you, Lindsey Graham definitely wears tighty whities.
No, there's no doubt. They're a little too tight, too.
I don't know. For somebody who's such a war hawk, he might go commando. But I mean, let's pull him up full screen. Do you think Lindsay's had a little work done here or there? Little nip.
Oh, no doubt.
Little tuck.
But he needs more of that turkey neck going.
And by the way, I was watching Steve Bannon was on Tucker Carlson's podcast last night, and Tucker confirmed what I suspected. Like Lindsay is like this. I called him a few op-eds ago, perfectly wretched, in the sense that like he is wretched. Like he has been pushing this. He has a particular thing, a particular message he's going to get that out there, a goal that really isn't what he sells to the voters or what. It's just that's one of Lindsay's big missions in life. But Tucker said Lindsey Graham is probably the most charming person you will ever meet. Yeah.
I can't see it.
No, he said like this guy, he is hilarious. He's like you will sit there like going, I can't stand what he stands for, all this other stuff. Then you meet the guy and you're like, damn, like he does have sort of this superpower of being able to charm anybody. And I think there are people like that exist.
Yeah. Well, it must be something because he's been in power for how long and no one's ever tried to really rock him out of there.
No, this week I said I imagine Lindsey Graham kind of like those folks overlooking a Civil War battle with his opera glasses. Like, oh, look at this. It's beginning. And I'm sure
not charming.
I just got a feeling Lindsey wouldn't even, he was like, laugh that crap off. Like, he just seems like he's one of these guys that can kind of fit and shapeshift into any situation. So here he is.
So a politician.
Right.
I don't find that to be very unique.
Here he is. Well, more, I mean, some are better at it than others.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. So, and he survived. I'll give him that as well.
That
for
I
a
don't
long
understand.
time. Yeah, seriously, Lindsey Graham goes all the way back to the 90s.
It's not just about sex.
Like talking about Bill Clinton.
That's what I can't get, that he, out of all people, he's made it through.
Will the real Slim Shady please stand up?
So here's Lindsay on Sean Hannity. The last gasp of the boomers.
Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, you know, you were praising the president for his patience and seeking peace and going back to the table and back to the table. Yeah. You can't say that he didn't try to give them an out, an opportunity, knowing what the eventual outcome was going to be. And, you know, he said, I told them it's a shame. It's a waste of human life. They can't have a nuclear weapon. And everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. How do you interpret that, sir?
Well, I take President at his word. He gave Iran 60 days to do a deal. On the 61st day, we are where we are. There's two ways to stop Iran from having a nuclear weapon. One is diplomacy. The other is force. I think the headline tonight is we're moving into the land of force. I think Iran has allowed themselves to be fooled into thinking they could manipulate Trump. Same old tactics with the wrong guy when it comes to Trump. To all those who voted for President Trump and got him in office, God bless you. He's the right guy at the right time. These are dangerous times. Why do we say no nuclear weapon for Iran? They're a religious theocracy. They're built around an extreme version of Islam. They want to destroy Saudi Arabia and the Sunni branch of Islam. They want to kill all the Jews in Israel and come after us. That's what their whole country is built upon, a theocratic view that there's nobody else in the world but them when it comes to worshiping God. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would use it. Israel believes that. I believe that. So here's the task at hand. Be all in, President Trump, in helping Israel eliminate the nuclear threat. If we need to provide bombs to Israel, provide bombs. If we need to fly planes with Israel, do joint operations. But here's the bigger question. Wouldn't the world be better off if the Ayatollahs went away and replaced by something better? Wouldn't Iran be better off? Tom Cotton is coming on. He made a great observation. The endless war is Iran. Since 1979, they've been attacking the entire region, chanting death to America, death to Israel since their very founding. It's time to close the chapter on the Iranian Ayatollah and his henchmen. Let's close that chapter soon and start a new chapter in the Mideast, one of tolerance, hope, and peace.
But the Trump...
Yeah, I'm sure we'll usher in tolerance, hope, and peace, like just, I mean, immediately, right?
You know, if they hadn't botched the job in Iraq and they hadn't botched the job in Afghanistan, maybe people would have more faith in them being able to do a regime change. But they can't. Can you give me an example of any regime change that's lasted? That
brought hope and peace?
Yeah.
Brought slave markets back to Libya.
Yep.
Typically leaves a void that puts something even more evil in its
That's
place.
just it. You know the devil you got.
So we're still awaiting. But, I mean, by the way, as you see this is what cable news, even though it's a dying industry, was built for. In particular, Fox. Like the constant Fox News alert, flashing lights. I think Tucker Carlson said it last night talking to Steve Bannon that the network I used to work for, their number one job is to manipulate and scare old people.
Yep.
Pardon me. But that's where we are right now as we speak. Trump meeting national security team in Situation Room. You maybe didn't hear earlier. Trump put out right before the show began at about 11:30 some messages. One saying we have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Also saying we know where the supreme leader is hiding. We're not going to take him out yet. Then put out in all caps, simple message that says unconditional surrender. As Trump was leaving the G7, Emmanuel Macron spoke up and said, oh, he just, we're trying to see if we can get a ceasefire. Trump responded at Air Force One saying, I don't want a ceasefire. I want it to end. Demands real end to Iran's nuclear program, not a ceasefire.
And to know that the nuclear program in Iran exists with American funding from the, Obama and Biden administrations.
That's what we do. I hate it, but that's what we do. We give the wrong people money, and then regime change comes in, and we go try to take that money that we gave them back or destroy what we let them build.
272.
Never works out. Never works out.
Also, Hegseth moving another aircraft carrier and warships to the theater, the Nimitz carrier group.
Yep.
Whew. Yeah, what does that make for 3?
Yeah.
3 carrier groups in the area. One in the Eastern Mediterranean and a couple near the Persian Gulf and the Arabian Sea.
I hope it's just hard negotiated, but
we'll see. The Pentagon is moving more assets to the Middle East as the conflict between Israel and Iran continues. The move is more of a defensive posture, but also brings significant offensive capabilities.
Yep.
China's Xi Jinping says he's deeply concerned about Israel's attack on Iran, saying the conflict has sharply intensified tensions in the Middle East. We oppose any actions that violate the sovereignty and territorial integrity of other countries, the president of China said. Military conflict is not the solution to our problems, and escalating regional tensions does not serve the common interests of the international community.
How do you say that with a straight face?
Yeah. I mean, but isn't that all governments?
Yep.
They're all hypocrites.
Yes, they are.
They all appeal to high ideals, but they, at the end of the day, are a bunch of Machiavellians. And they do what they need to do, right?
Yep.
Folks are saying, oh, Trump contradicted Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi told NBC News today that she and Trump are on the same page regarding the status of Iran's nuke program after the president disputed her testimony before Congress earlier this year. What President Trump is saying is the same thing that I said in my annual assessment back in March in Congress. Unfortunately, Gabbard said, too many people in the media don't care to actually read what I said. Well, interesting. So, again, we're waiting, and we'll see what decision Trump is about to make. Let's go to line 1. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Dion.
Hey, Dion, how you doing?
All right. I got a few questions, but for one, what kind of qualifications does Tulsi Gabbard have to speak on war?
She's the director of national intelligence and also served.
Served where?
Iraq and Afghanistan, I believe.
Okay. Now, my question is, what makes people want war so bad? Y'all talk about the stuff that the things that were left over there by Obama and Biden. Yeah, they left it over there because you know who scheduled get out of town. Okay, now you're talking about Israel. For one, we get nothing from Israel. Why are we protecting Israel? But my thing is, when Israel was killing the Syrians, y'all was all good with it. But now that they messing with Iraq, you want to bag out. Y'all president starts stuff and bags out on everything he does. And I'm through.
Okay. Like, I mean, I don't think you've listened to the whole show, but cool.
Actually, I haven't listened to the whole show, but I've been in and out, and I'm still. I mean, y'all waiting on Trump, the King Trump.
He's the president of the United States and commander in chief. The president decides on this. I hope he doesn't get the U.S. involved in the conflict.
And it has to be approved by Congress.
Nothing to do with it. Don't it have to be approved by Congress?
Supposed to, but it hasn't operated that way since the end of World War II.
Right.
And unless like everything else, Trump declares an executive decision, a king decision with our kids lives.
Well, Dion, I think the problem is it isn't just Trump. It's been going on for decades. And though people appeal to the Constitution and appeal to who do we elect as president because it's really going to make a difference, the folks that actually run things in this freaking country who don't ever have to face election do what they want anyway.
But see, this is the point. This is not our country to run. That's their country. If they want to kill each other, let them kill each other. But stay out of it and quit trying to police the world. The only reason we're in Israel is because we want that shipping lane. The only reason we was over there in Afghanistan in the first place is about oil. Y'all can have the smoke and mirrors, but it's about oil and money.
Well, hold on. When you say y'all, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Trump supporters and the blind following, cultish following.
Are you not aware of the massive debate online within a bunch of people who voted for Trump? Very big names saying he should not do this. Others that honestly tried to get Ron DeSantis to run are now the ones really giving Trump a hug. There are a lot of people who voted for Trump hoping he wouldn't do crap like this. But it seems that's the pattern here. That you got George W. Bush who runs on peace, and then we're back into more war. You got Barack Obama running against wars of choice, and we get more war. You got Trump running for, we want peace. You get more war. Biden, of course, ups the ante. And the American people time and time again said, we want peace. We're tired of policing the world, to your point, Dion. And yet, no matter who we elect, there's more war. And the policing continues. So we got a deeper problem than maybe just our elected officials. It's freaking crazy.
Why not bring our people home and protect the borders that we claim we love so much? Since we deporting Home Depot workers and we deporting secretaries and maids, but they're the worst criminals on the planet because they trying to escape poverty.
What about the guys that were, engaged in human trafficking and running money laundering? For those people? Go after them.
There's Americans human trafficking.
Yeah, I agree. They should go after them too. Yeah.
We ain't got them yet. We got people over here that's doing atrocious crimes. Nothing's happening to them. Worry about what's here. Okay, when Columbus came, he was an immigrant. And he's been here and they've been taken since they established America. The government has been taking from the people, and it's not just a Republican or a Democrat; it's all of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree with you there. Just this is a strange call because you keep throwing things at me. I'm not some traditional Republican, and if you listen to me for at least a few weeks, you'll find that out pretty quickly.
I do listen to you, but I listened earlier to another show, and the lady made an off-tone comment about Snow White being white, and that just kind of ruined my whole mood for the day.
What?
Because I was listening to the conversation, and it was a comment about Snow White is still white. Yeah, and it really just turned my
Why did that ruin your day? I'm saying what? Because of like really just a comment like that.
I mean,
ruined your day?
no, it's because slick, you know, like people use code words and terms that you know, and I just don't like it.
Okay.
I mean, it's one thing bad enough to have a whole class of people generalize when you say a Democrat. So that means everybody that vote Democrat is stupid. We don't know our ass from the hole in the ground. There's not a policy ever been created by a Democrat. It's not ever been anything done good by Democrats. Republicans are the only one that know what's really going on, and they know how to steal the money the best.
Yeah, that's the team sport way of doing it.
Right.
Yeah. I wish we could break out to where, but we're kind of boxed in, ain't we? You got to pick a team, right? And it's
No, you don't.
Well,
That's
fair
why
enough.
That's why they have what they call independent people who can mediate. We don't have to be extreme right or extreme left. There is a middle ground.
Yes, and there are a lot of independents that obviously went Trump's way in this last election. That's the problem. You get to choose between the Republicans and Democrats as independents in the election, and we're back to the same problem, that the government that isn't elected keeps doing what they want to do. Presidents and elected officials come...
It's tit for tat.
Yep.
Well, he did this and he stole this much, so we
Yeah.
got to get this much over here. Well, he made this law. I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna make it benefit our side. It's stupid. We spend so much money on Congress and the Senate for them people to go in there every day and argue the same subjects over and over again. I bet if they didn't get their paycheck when the job wasn't done, it'll be a whole lot of stuff getting done.
Well, I think you and I agree on a fairly deep level. So, but I appreciate the call, Dion, and I'm just waiting to see what happens. What's the decision that's made? Appreciate it.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah. No, what did I say after Trump was elected? It's like it's like my favorite wrestler won WrestleMania. But I used the metaphor of wrestling because, I mean, come on. It's entertainment. Gives you that hope, that spark.
Plus, you love some wrestling.
Yeah, I like wrestling too. When it's good. And that's the thing. Wrestling is often not good. Like, it's not that compelling. And then it just makes those moments where it is. Oh, that's glorious. But it is amazing. Like, the American people, whether they vote for a Democrat or a Republican, it's like you pretty much get the same thing with a slightly different twist on it.
Pretty much like Mo used to tell his two brothers, pick a hand. It didn't matter which hand you picked, you were going to get smacked either way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of was us. Pick a hand, pick a side. You know, this is my side. This is my team. All right. They're going to slap you too, but all right.
What's that line that you heard Putin say? Where he's like, he's seen Bill Clinton come in. He's essentially said, yeah, presidents come in with a lot of ideas. Yeah. They talk to me about it.
Yep.
They make all these promises. Then men in dark suits with blue ties come in and say, okay, here's how it's actually going to be.
What's going to happen?
And, yeah, man, you got to take it with a grain of salt because that's Putin trying to stir stuff up. But honestly, the more I've watched my own government, regardless of what anybody else said, yeah, that's my sense of it. And you could ask, well, why doesn't it change? Like, do you really think electing one man, Trump or anybody else, that they can all of a sudden wield the power of the entire executive branch?
That's something that we always hope for every time we get a guy up there. This is the guy. This is the guy that can knock those guys in the suits down.
Now, during that Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon interview, can't play the clip because they drop an F-bomb, but they're talking about one of the senators during, say, as they're looking into the JFK assassination, the Warren Commission. And I can't remember the senator's name, but one that was actually looking into stuff. And ends up talking to a guy who was like, if you really want to get the CIA's take, who kind of runs things, go talk to Angleton. I think James Angleton. And this guy, the senator knew how to butter him up, and they have a whole long dinner. And then finally gets to the question at the end is like about JFK being killed. The agency, did CIA have anything to do with this? Angleton responded, the Bible? Like Old Testament, New Testament? The guy who was a former pastor actually was like, yeah, well enough. In my father's house, there are many rooms. And the senator just pushed back from the table. It's like, okay, I'm not going to ask him any more questions. It's like Jules in Pulp Fiction, quote, like before he shoots somebody. It's just like, okay. And that's the thought I've had the more I cover this for more than a decade now. There are rooms within rooms within rooms. And we barely scratch the surface of this stuff. And even if you elect the best person and you put the right people in certain positions, what's the old line? Mario Cuomo and Hillary like to repeat it. You campaign in poetry and you govern in prose.
Yep.
It's a nice way of saying we lie to your asses.
Every time.
Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Dylan Rings. And there at Dylan Rings, well, Josh and Leslie Ryder are ready to help you out. Don't forget, in celebration of Leslie's 50th birthday.
That's right. Somebody's got a birthday coming up.
They're doing 50% off on half the store. Some incredible jewelry items there that you can get for half off. Incredible stuff. Get by there. Go check it out today. You can see some samples of what they have half off on Facebook, on Instagram, if you want to get a sense of it. But, of course, they can do many things there. They are a full-service jewelry shop. Maybe you want a truly unique custom design piece made by Josh.
He does that very well.
He's very good at it. Or it could be you want to do a spa treatment. Say there's a piece of jewelry you wear like every day, all day. You 24/7, 365. And it looks like you wear it all the time.
It needs a little refresh.
Yeah, they can make it look like it's brand new again. Pretty remarkable. Make that ring, make that necklace, make that bracelet shine and shimmer like it's brand new all over again. They will also buy old jewelry from you, like silver, gold, platinum. Maybe it's stuff just laying around the drawer. You haven't even thought of it in a while. Like, what are you going to do with it? They'll buy that off of you.
Yep.
They'll do appraisals. They'll do repairs, even watch repairs,
That's
battery
right.
replacements.
Battery
They do it all. So y'all check out Dylan Rings today. Keep them in mind. Stop by at 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit AlabamaSheriff'sYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our better than normal rain chances continue. In fact, well into the evening hours tonight, with storms fading out overnight, low temperature in the lower 70s. Not much change in the pattern tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, except fewer storms on the radar. You can still get a lot of rain, but the odds of running into a storm will start to decrease a little bit. Also, by later in the week, look for highs to rise to the low to mid 90s, and the heat index will be edging closer to the danger range by late week and into the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Hey, this is Peaches and Clean, Powerful Carpet Cleaning. Do you have area rugs and oriental rugs that you have been delaying cleaning? Give us a call at Peaches and Clean. We offer free pickup and delivery in the Montgomery Tri-County area, or check us out at peachesandclean.com.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Playing Eddie's favorite song there to
Celine Dion. I keep waiting for her to just bust through the door. All her Canadianness.
Oh, that's Kim Williams' favorite singer of all time. There's your fun
really?
fact. Yes.
That-
She
that-
loves Celine.
See? Which I love Kim. We'll have to talk about her music selection. I always saw her more as a Shania Twain kind of person anyway.
Oh, she loves like all the 80s love songs.
Oh, no. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see her being in love for the power ballads.
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good power ballad.
No, there's not. REO Speedwagon back in the day had him going on. Bon Jovi. Oof, the Bon Jovis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there for you. Yeah. Good times.
I'm trying to think.
She's more like ABBA, Dido. Like
ABBA's not bad.
Dido?
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I bet she would love Kiss Beth. I bet if you just started singing that to her, she'd chime right in.
Or Alone by Heart.
Oh.
Mm.
Alone.
I want to get you
Yes.
alone. Yeah, great song right there. Or How Can I Get You Alone? Yeah.
The song we sing all that is like, I will go down with this ship. Who sings that? Is that Dido?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like ABBA's The Winner Takes It All. Oh, great song. Fantastic song.
ABBA, I mean, any ABBA song can come on the radio, and
stuff.
somehow I know the words to it. But if
Fernando.
you put a gun to my head, yeah, Fernando's about the only one I could come
Actually,
up
the one I skip is Dancing Queen. It's like heard it too many
Dancing
times.
Queen.
Like,
Yeah.
but some of the other ones that aren't as quite as popular, they hit. They hit pretty good.
Get out of the shower and put on your robe and listen to Dancing Queen.
I don't have a robe. No, I don't listen to Dancing Queen.
Neither do I.
No, you don't?
Not at all.
You ever dance while you're alone?
I always dance with a partner.
Okay.
We've learned a lot about Eddie today.
I've learned a lot.
No, very embarrassing story. I was young. We lived in Turkey at the time, military kids, and they had a dance contest, and I didn't know. So I didn't know you had to have a partner.
Yeah?
Yeah. I learned that day.
Wait, how'd you learn? The hard way?
Yeah, very hard way. Where's your partner? Huh? Yeah.
Bust a move.
You're disqualified. Exactly. I was like, wait.
So
No, you're disqualified. Sit down.
So it's a talent show this week, folks. Eddie Bader will be performing You're the One That I Want from the musical Grease. He'll be singing both parts of Danny and Sandy.
We're going to do the hand jive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great song. Or like crack out some Hopelessly Devoted to You.
Ooh, that's some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not even that. Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, I know that song. Yeah.
I mean, you didn't watch Grease even as I know it was an older movie when you were growing up, but you didn't watch Grease. And
I freaking love Grease.
I know.
When they redid it in theaters.
Oh.
Like
I'm just not big. I mean, I love music,
Grease
but I'm
Lightning,
not big
maybe.
into musicals. Like, I'm not going to sit down and watch Wicked.
Yeah, I haven't seen
No, I
that
haven't
one.
seen that one.
Sound of Music.
Oh, that's really good.
Julie Andrews, man.
Back in the day, that was, and maybe that's when we were raised. They put those movies on, so we would watch them. And
A lot of
sing
musicals going on. And of course,
Jungle Book.
I did, like, I walked off the football field after practice at Catholic.
Mhm.
And in the other, like the new building they built, they were doing auditions for Godspell.
Yes.
And I was like, whatever, I kind of like music. And I auditioned, and they're like, okay, you're going to play Jesus. And if you know the play, not only did I have to memorize thousands and thousands of words in
Yeah.
terms of lines, because Jesus pretty much teaches. It's
It's
like
the
the
play,
Gospels,
right?
like it's him teaching. It's like, I remember all that. And you have most of the singing you got to do.
Joey. Stress?
But good stress.
Yeah.
No, and there was a time where it's like I enjoyed that experience. I think the third production, I forgot like lines at a critical moment. Somebody on stage saved me. But
that's good.
The second performance, it was like this makeshift table, and part of the routine is somebody was going to get up on top of the table, like singing, the whole group singing.
Yeah.
Table collapsed.
Aye.
And luckily nobody got hurt.
That's good.
But it was pretty funny. And in the moment, I'm like, oh, holy crap.
How many shows did you guys do? Just
3, I think. The 2 big ones in a bigger like auditorium, and then one at Holy Spirit Church.
Nice.
In that little room. That's where I forgot the lines. It was a different stage, and it's like,
not flowing.
Yeah, and just it was off. But because I had a good experience with that, I was like, well, maybe I'll like try the acting or the music thing. And I was like, nah. After I checked it out at Auburn for a second, I'm like, nah, I'll find something else.
Did you hear that they have come out with a Broadway musical based off of Luigi, the guy that shot and killed?
I did
really
hear that.
CEO
Yeah, I did hear
United
that.
Healthcare.
A Luigi Mangione musical.
In
it's just
fact,
called Luigi.
I saw a thing last night where that's now, if they're going to put somebody down like that, they call it Luigi. He's going to get Luigi.
That's not a good trend.
It's not. And people are so casual with it.
Yeah.
It just, I found that to be very bothersome. And I know I'm older than everybody now, but that's very bothersome to me. Too comfortable with that. Oh, we're just going to Luigi him. No, I don't like that at all.
No, let's not go there. But we'll see. Wall Street Journal, Trump considering strike on Iran. It's like every single mainstream media, corporate media outlet's like, please do it, Donald Trump. Please do it. Fox is pushing it. Wall Street Journal's pushing it. Politico's pushing it.
Just gives them something
Ratings.
to talk about.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's another song. Let's give them something
to talk about. Well, Bonnie Raitt, ain't nothing wrong with that.
And then you get into the really epic ballads, like Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh, yeah.
Bonnie
Tyler. Mm-hmm. Or
I
you
Need
get
a Hero.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's a great one.
Stevie
Fantastic
Nicks,
song.
Stand Back.
That's a good one.
Any
Or Edge
Fleetwood
of
Mac,
17,
man.
good song.
Oh,
right
that's
there,
a
baby.
great song.
Yeah. I like all those.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think on Stand Back, Prince did the keys.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, she liked his chord progression, a Little Red Corvette, and so called him over, and he played the keys on the studio. And said the original version was actually rocked up more, did a bunch of guitar
really?
and stuff, and they stripped that from it.
They did an excellent job. From the first time I ever heard that song, I went out and bought the album that day. I loved it.
Very catchy.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very catchy.
Plus, it was the 80s. She had the big hair. The video was
I
going
will
on.
suggest if like there's music that's like your favorite, but because it's your favorite, you've heard it a lot, so it doesn't quite hit in the same way as it once did.
Mm-hmm.
If you got time to waste, just look for reaction videos online. Seriously,
I've seen some really good ones.
It's great. It's like seeing people hear your favorite music. It's like you're
For the first
introducing it to a friend again. And it's actually a lot of fun. Now, some folks who do it are really dumb. And it's like, okay,
sure there's some over the
you
top.
haven't researched anything on this and whatever. But some of it's great. In particular, like, you know, I was asking you earlier, like, what's the most boomer thing about you?
Mhm.
And I think for me, it's like, I'll still get the Let Out. I still think Led Zeppelin's awesome.
Yeah.
Like in that whole era of music, I'm very boomer in a lot of my musical tastes, but not necessarily in my political takes.
Thank God. We need your younger generation to kind of think a little bit different.
If you're wondering what we're doing, we're just kind of in a holding pattern. Like I'm looking at what's breaking news, what's out there, and everything is stuck on this national security meeting in the Situation Room.
Did you see? I think this happened when the bombing first started with Israel and Iran. There's a Domino's Pizza right outside the White House. And
Yes. I'm so happy you brought this up.
I've been meaning to bring it up for a week now.
Okay, so it's the Domino's pizza tracker. They're
Yes.
also they added another wrinkle.
Oh,
the Grinder app tracker.
I saw that one too, Joey.
Yeah.
That one, honestly, that one kind of threw me just a little bit, Joey. I had to go make sure. I thought I knew what it was, and it is what I thought it was. We got some problems.
Well, if you don't ask, I'm not telling. All right. No, but so people started to see, like on Google, you can see normal activity patterns, like how busy are they?
Mhm.
And you can see if it's really busy, if it's breaking from the norm. And the Domino's pizza near the Pentagon, like Domino's just goes like crazy busy, long wait times. And it means something's going on at the Pentagon.
Mm.
And it really is. You track activity in
Yep.
Washington based on things all human beings need.
Yep.
They need food, sustenance. Sometimes they
That's how they honestly said this
Do
is
some
how we can
depraved
tell
sexual
something's
things,
happening.
yeah.
So if we know that, what do your enemies know?
Yeah.
They fixed Obama's? I don't know. Check that Domino's. The
Check
Domino's
the-
busy right now?
Here, let me look that up real quick. I think it's called the Pentagon Pizza Tracker.
Something like that, yeah.
Let me pull that up. Pentagon Pizza Report. Yeah, it's called the Pentagon Pizza Report on X, saying about 2 minutes ago, the closest Pizza Hut to the Pentagon is reporting a surge in traffic. Most other pizzerias are reporting low levels of activity.
They also
But
showed.
how do we know that's like legit? They could just say that anytime there's breaking news on TV.
Well, there's a report a while back, and this is years ago, the amount of money that DC spends at that particular Domino's, and it's like millions of dollars. Like, why didn't I have that franchise right there? Are you kidding me? But the amount of money that, it comes out of that Domino's and goes to them is amazing.
Yeah, but it's a real thing. Pentagon Pizza Report, and it just constantly is putting up reports of the activity at all the pizzerias around the Pentagon.
I wonder if they have somebody that like test all that. If it's going into the White House or the Pentagon or something to make sure that it's not.
I would hope they've got some kind of, certainly. Well, I would say certainly, but then I know what we have running the system nowadays.
Right.
So yeah,
I'd be
don't know.
concerned, to have a bunch of pizzas going in to the most important people in the
Right.
country.
Nobody checked it.
See who this is on line one. You're on there. Who's this? Hello? Anybody there?
Nope.
I don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
Oh, look, awaiting verdict in Karen Reed trial.
See,
you're all about this trial.
Okay, this is funny to me because a lot of women, and I guess it is a woman, but a lot of women are into this kind of thing. They're into these trials like this.
Why?
Crazy woman.
What?
What?
You don't call Madeline crazy.
No, I didn't say she was.
Y'all
Just
have knocked my house. Now you're calling me crazy.
the activities
See if I come back
of
over
these
here.
women. I mean, is she not? You feel like she's been set up, or you feel like
No.
she has done this and needs to be held accountable?
I think she's guilty.
And do you know the ratio of people? Because I think it's like a half and half on who thinks she's guilty, who thinks.
Yeah, she's got a cult following. I mean, there are people who stand outside the courthouse every day who think that she's been framed. But I mean, there's a documentary out on, I think it's on HBO Max, called Body in the Snow.
Uh-huh.
So people who are not familiar with this case, I would recommend you watch that.
Body in the Snow.
Body in the Snow.
I know what Susanna's going to be watching tonight.
Yeah, what is it with the ladies?
Again?
Especially the ones that live in white brick houses, like who love like all the serial killer documentaries. And
it started with Farrah Fawcett back in the 80s with that movie, The Burning Bed.
What?
So it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
But this lady was abused and she finally had enough of it.
Yeah.
Her husband went to bed. She poured gas on the bed, set it on fire.
Burning bed.
The burning bed. That's when the women, I don't know if they lost it or if they said, you know what, we ain't got to take this no more.
Who was the woman that cut her man's stuff off?
Oh,
Bobbitt.
Bobbitt.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay, who's the cop that had to go find it?
But you remember that case went nuts too, quite literally.
Crazy. And in fact, he ends up in the adult industry and just, yeah.
Okay, breaking Trump Situation Room meeting has ended. We should get a statement here.
He walks out holding pizza. We know there's trouble.
And his phone, like he's been swiping it. Got a big surprise to tell y'all about. What's that Diana Ross song?
I'm coming out. Great song.
Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They're ready to help you fellas out if you're feeling run down. And
We just talk
tired.
about Bobbitt and then we go into
we go right into it, baby.
Yeah, if you're just not feeling like a man, you feel like physically exhausted, like you
Wore
have
out.
this mental fog. And especially if it's not you, like you're seeing a really big change in your energy levels, seeing unwanted weight gain, loss of muscle mass, no sex drive to speak of. Ugh. Well, it could very well be, especially if all these things are happening at once. Low testosterone is your problem. So why not get by Montgomery Men's Health? The providers there will conduct a lab workup, testosterone focused lab workup, plus a consultation for only $99. And if you do have low T, they have treatments there that can truly change men's lives, including treatments that will make you feel better the very same day.
Mm-hmm.
After treatment, men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym.
Brother.
Right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism, and you usually even notice an increased libido.
Nothing wrong with that, Joey.
A lot right with it. And you can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
Want to carry news talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
This is Matt Woodham with Woodham Southside Firestone. As a businessman, you need to watch your advertising dollars. We've been using Blue Water Broadcasting for many years. Blue Water Broadcasting is the biggest bang for your buck. Blue Water Broadcasting and Woodham Southside Firestone, great combination.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. It really is amazing. And that's why I appreciated Dion's call, though we had to get it like a little more on the same page. But for instance, Steve Bannon's against getting involved with these strikes. Tucker Carlson's against this. Another big name online, big booster Trump, Jack Posobiec, he's against this. Charlie Kirk just put this out reacting to the clip that we played of Lindsey Graham saying this is insane. Regime change will result in a bloody civil war, killing hundreds of thousands and creating another massive Muslim refugee crisis. Toppling a leader is never as easy as you think. It's almost always results in further involvement of civil war and chaos. Resist this. So it's like every major influencer with millions and millions of people paying attention to them are saying don't do this, especially the younger generation. And yet, you continue to see Lindsey Graham and others on Fox News pushing this. What a shame. Let's go to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Good. Well, out here in Wetumpka, it's raining a little bit, but you know what? It makes us look like we're living in a tropical rainforest right now, right?
Every day.
And he's riding with me, so it's even better. Which cat? If you know it's not Bart, because Bart wouldn't say a word. That's right. Yeah. We're coming over here to got a couple that's looking at buying a house and seeing what's the place to redo the flooring in here. And so if you're listening to this, we'll come out and give you a free measurement, even if you don't own the home.
That's right.
If you're curious about, hey, what's it going to really take to redo the shower and redo the floors and redo this and that for your budget, we're glad to do that for you at no charge.
Oh, nice.
Just call 285-8117. We'll come out and give you the free measurement. Look, if you don't buy the house, you move on, no harm, no foul. At least you knew what you were looking at, right?
Yeah.
No, that can be a part of the decision-making process. I like
big
that.
value right there.
So again, that's
and don't forget.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the $50 gift card if you tag us on Facebook. Yeah.
That's
right.
right.
We want before and afters, folks. If you got before and afters of the job Prattville Carpet got done, send it their way. Call them up, 285-8117, or just tag them on Facebook. And again, that's 285-8117 if you're looking to get that free in-home measurement. Appreciate it, Ray.
And y'all might want to call me and let me know you did that, because I have a team that does this. And if I don't know about it, then I'm not going to know to call you to give you that gift card. Okay?
You bet.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, Ray. See you, man.
Oh, looks like Jeff Bezos is actually going to get hitched to that Lauren Sanchez woman. I mean, how much do you like? You think how thankful, how grateful do you think she is for that little rocket ride?
Please. She went on a ride. She could have gone to Disney World for that.
Huh?
Just saying. I mean, it wasn't a slide or nothing, but still.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Nobody is talking about strategies or any of that with Maxwell out there and the War College. You have the Straits of Gibraltar, the Suez Canal, and that's basically about the only way you can get in there.
And Straits of
And
Hormuz.
the entire U.S. Sixth Fleet is headed that way.
Okay.
There's a statue in the state capitol of a gentleman, General, I think it's Pearson Hobson. He won the first Medal of Honor. Read up on him. And, you got some serious players over there. They're trying to shut TikTok down again.
Yep.
Because, you can get information there. You talk about influencers and that. China, North Korea, Pakistan, all those countries say, don't do it. I think anybody that thinks that a nuclear war of any level could be won, he doesn't have a brain in his head. That's impossible.
Yep.
We're in our final days if this goes off. Why don't we just mind our own business? And Netanyahu came over here the day after they tried to get rid of him, met with somebody and went back, and 2 weeks later, here we are. Who did he meet with when he came to the United States? It wasn't a state visit. He didn't meet with Trump or Biden, whoever was president. It's really not that significant.
Yeah.
But right now, if somebody was thinking, we would be up in deep doo-doo as a military.
Well, we'll see. The meeting.
Yeah, I just hope not. These are our people over there.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a veteran. I helped survey Quantry Province in 1967, so we could bomb
it's good to hear. I had somebody email me that I should shut my mouth and shouldn't have an opinion on this because I never served. So it's good to hear somebody who did serve.
Well, they called them chicken hawks back then. And Biden, Trump. The only guy recently that served was Bush. He was in the Alabama National Guard, and Jimmy Carter. The rest of these guys, Clinton, they were all chicken hawks. They didn't go. Matter of fact, Netanyahu has fled the country already. That's real convenient.
Well, Tootie, I got to run, man.
People over there.
I got my
Take
top
care.
over.
Good
Appreciate
luck.
it.
Thanks, Tootie.
Did we learn anything today? Well, I bet a little about interest rates. Thank you for that, Madeline.
Well, you're welcome. We also learned that
Eddie still, he wore whitey tighties
That's what
way
yes.
longer than it was cool.
that's right. He also likes to dance in his robe.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, sometimes it's too hot for the robe.
Especially to the Pointer Sisters. Fire.
You know that song is
fire.
Yes, I had a girl one time write me a note, tell me my kiss was
when
fire.
We kiss.
Unfortunately, she gave it to my sisters before I ever got it, so the world knew.
Fire.
Yeah.
I always love bringing
Gotta
up
love
that
a
song.
sister.
Yeah, all 5 of them.
You have 5 sisters?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
What a humbling existence.
Very much so. But I know makeup very well, so
Oh.
that's a plus.
Well, we'll see what happens next. Y'all stay tuned for Happy Hour with Greg Budell.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.